The stream has started, and we'll do a sound check, and everybody besides me sucks. Shut up, advertisement. Alright, advertisement's over. And everybody besides me sucks. It's true, everyone besides me sucks. Let's save ourselves some replays and get started, huh? I'll explain things in a bit. The Luna Pruna's not playing Lizardmen. Okay, that's messed up. We hate that. We hate when the Luna Pruna's not playing Lizardmen. Round 1 is already done. That's crazy. What up, Potato Salad? EU Karl Franz campaign. I like the Karl Franz campaign. It's pretty fun. Hey, Anraksha. Stay Daubney. Welcome as well. Yeah, I put up a poll if people are excited to be here. I like to think that some people tripped and fell down. And this happened to open up on their phone, but now they're busy dealing with like their broken ankle or whatever. And this video's just playing. And they're like, listen, I would rather watch anything else, but I'm busy with my broken ankle. So it's kind of crazy that 7 people voted. 2 people have that exact situation. Hi, Samuel Leslie. Love you too. We'll get started with the stream in a second. I'll stop stalling, but here's this. For our 2024 subathon to end out the year, we did hit our second goalpost, so I now have to make a build guide for every single faction, as well as an ice bath question stream, which will probably be after the holidays. Just looking at scheduling and timing and stuff, but that'll be soon. If we get 400 more subscribers in the next 10 days, I will have to do a 20-hour stream. And initially, it was not looking like we were going to hit that goal. And then I had 2 days in a row where I got 90 subscribers a day. So that's not great. Well, okay, that is great for my channel and great for the whole point of this. It's not great for my mental sanity as I try and avoid that 20-hour stream. But then we went back down to like 30 subscribers the other day. And yesterday, I think we got like 14. So if we're towards the 14 range, I'm safe from the 20-hour stream. If we're back up in the 90 range, I'm completely fucked. So we'll see. We'll see if we make it. I doubt it, but you can always prove me wrong by subscribing and all that jazz. What do we have for the day? We have Big JP's tournament. It is similar to the new player tournament we used to run, with a little bit of Big JP flavor. We are just casting his tournament. It is not mine. I take no credit for the organization of this tournament. It is Swiss, 4 rounds where you fight other people, and then there's a semifinal and finals based off of your score you got during the Swiss round. So everybody gets 4 rounds no matter what, and then after that it's a bit of elimination. But it is single faction, which is not what I used to do with my tournaments. So everybody picked a faction before starting, and they'll just play that faction throughout the day. Right. Round 1 out of 4 is already done, so we'll cast some of those replays. Let's get on with it. Just finished the Skulltaker Old World short campaign. It was so slow and didn't feel OP whatsoever. Okay. Did you ever play Shogun 2 multiplayer in the past, or are you just a Warhammer fantasy fan? I played a lot of Shogun 2 campaign and then co-op campaign with my brother and my friend. Not at the same time, but like sometimes with my brother, sometimes with my friend. Loved Shogun. I only got into Warhammer Fantasy because that friend I used to play Shogun with told me it was fun. I didn't care about Warhammer literally at all before Total War Warhammer 1. And then I played it, I'm like, oh, this is pretty fun. And I know I've told this story a couple times, so I'll keep it short, but I didn't want to get Warhammer 2 because the Skaven, I was like, what, those bad guys from Vermintide? They're pretty pathetic, so I don't really want to play them. I don't want to play any of the elves because I'm not an elf fan in any form of fantasy. Like Dungeons & Dragons, I never play as the elves. So I wasn't going to get Warhammer 2. My friend really wanted me to get it, and it had Lizardmen. I'm like, okay, well, I loved dinosaurs when I was a kid, so I could probably just play a campaign of dinosaurs and have some fun. And then I fell in love with the Skaven. The Skaven are the fucking best, and that's where I got my name and all that stuff. So I didn't even like Skaven until Warhammer 2. Yeah, so there's my little story. Let's go! Would you adopt pet rats if you reach 1 million? Of course. I had a rat in my past. Love rats. We had Sparky and Fuzzball, 2 pet rats. Okay, first game of the night is Slaanesh versus Ogre Kingdoms, Pizu and Medic BN9. And that is Golgfag Maneater and that Butcher guy. Neither of which I have ever seen in a competitive game played by players. I've only seen the AI take them. Let's do this. I'm kind of hyped. I think the ogres are fucked, but I'm kind of hyped. So Golgfag did just get a buff. His little pistol shot now has unlimited uses rather than 3, but he can still only target single entities, so it's going to be used to poke down the Slaanesh Lord, and that's it. But we have Golgfag Maneater. We have Brag the Gutsman with his little execute if something gets low enough near him. And again, that also can only apply to the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. Other than that, we have Pigback Riders and Ogre Bulls, the Arwar Pigback Riders, triple Lead Belcher, and a Scrap Launcher. I think this Ogre build is doomed. I think it's very cool, but I also think it is supremely doomed. Slaanesh is just going to overrun that backline, kill all the Lead Belchers and Scrap Launcher really easily. First Slaanesh, we do have a front line of Forsaken. Oh, here we go. We have some Cav. Mournfang Cav with great weapons. Looks like we just have 1. I thought I saw 2 on the load screen. Looks like just 1, but still, it's not going to be enough. Slaanesh has Fiends, Seekers, Spears, and maybe some Heart Seekers in there. No, just Hellstriders. Okay. Keeper Secrets of Slaanesh with the Rampage and then the AoE Rampage. But this is going to be a big problem. I recently discovered that the Seeker buffs very much worked, and Seekers are insanely cracked. This isn't even Seekers. These Mournfangs are getting messed up by Hellstriders and Forsaken right now, but the Seekers are yet to join the party. I think we'll see the real Seeker power in the back line, dealing with the Scrap Launcher and the Lead Belchers. As the Mournfang Cav is getting Terror routed already, they're out of here, and that is a very expensive unit to lose. The front line of Slaanesh is suffering quite badly, but now you'll see the Seekers in full effect as they're about to surround this Noblar Scrap Launcher. That'll die quickly, and I'm keeping the Lead Belchers in the background so you can see their HP bars too. Seekers are pretty freaking strong. The Hellstriders also doing very, very well. The Scrap Launcher is already shattered, and all 3 Lead Belchers are down. In less than like 30 seconds of real combat, all 3 of those units just died. So that puts the Ogres supremely behind on the balance of power. Golgfag is now stuck. Acquiescence, Soporific Musk, and Seductive Glory all lowering his melee defense down to literally 0, and he is rampaged in place. Only some Ogre Bulls are nearby to give him a little bit of company, stop him from getting surrounded by the Slaanesh characters. But it doesn't look like the Ogre Bulls will last overly long, and then Golgfag will be alone. Meanwhile, speaking of alone, it doesn't matter if he has Ogre Bulls or not, it appears, because the rest of his army is in utter shambles as Slaanesh just runs them over. As you learned more about Warhammer, what races have you come to like more or less? I think Greenskins are really funny. I like them a lot. I love Skaven. Honestly, I came to dislike the Lizardmen. I like the Lizardmen because I liked dinosaurs, but the Lizardmen lore is actually pretty meh. It's not my jam. It exists. It's just not like a lore I like. I don't really relate to any of the characters or anything. So yeah, Greenskins and Skaven I like in-game. Their voice acting's really good. Their lore is pretty funny. The Empire's okay. Dwarves are okay in the lore. In-game, I like Empire a lot. The Elven lore isn't really my thing. I haven't found myself really connecting to any of the elves in lore. In gameplay, I like High Elves. Elves are fun. Oh, look at those Seeker values, by the way. I know I got distracted by a question, but that game was super over. Look at those Seekers. In such a short game, such amazing value on them. The buffs are really felt. The Seekers feel great. I think Slaanesh is slowly getting to where they should be, because I'm not complaining about Seekers being strong. Slaanesh should have really hard-hitting, squishy cavalry, and Seekers do a ton of damage, but they also die super fast. Like, I was playing a game, I don't think that video's out yet, but literally 2 Salamander Hunting Pack volleys killed a Seeker. So they're squishy, they just do a ton of damage if they get free access onto your backline, which they did here. Damn, good job, Pizu. Good job showing off those units. Alright, I'm just going to pull up a list of factions to answer that question real quick instead of stumbling around like an idiot. So in-game, In game, I like the concept of Chaos Dwarfs, but they need buffs on their cool units and nerfs on their bad ones. I like the Empire, Greenskins, High Elves, Kislev. Lizardmen in game are very fun. Skaven, Ogres, Vampire Coast. In lore, Dwarves are fine, Empire's fine. I like Greenskins. I like Skaven. Yeah, that's about it. There's your answer. What's up, Skaven guy? Not much, dude. Not much. Did they get a buff fairy recently? Yeah. So Seekers got triple buffed. We'll get back into the replays in just a second. Seekers got triple buffed. They got reduced price point from 1,000 gold to 900, so lost 100 gold off the top over the course of a couple patches. This wasn't one patch. So cost decrease. They got relative leadership buffs. I think that most demonic units got, though they only have 60, so maybe they didn't get a leadership buff, but a lot of demonic units got help. And then I think they got some model fixes, like the Cold One Knights. I think they saturate an area better now than they used to. Because it was around the time that Lizardmen Cold One Riders and Dark Elf Cold One Knights started performing well. The Seekers also started performing well. So, yeah, I think they got some model fixes. They got some cost reductions. Hopefully with the next DLC we get Nagash and Thankful. Geek. Lizardmen are outdated on the campaign side. Dude, they were outdated even when they were getting DLCs. Lizardmen DLCs have never been fire. They've been okay at best, but like, never fire. Ikit Claw versus Tehenowin. Ikit Claw got a way better campaign. Tic-Tac-Toe versus somebody. I forget who. We have La Luna Pruna versus Stack Ninja. But I can't even remember who Tic-Tac-Toe was against. Tic-Tac-Toe's campaign is pretty bog standard. Oxyotl versus Torox. Torox's campaign was really funny. It was overpowered, but it was really funny. And Oxyotl's campaign is pretty forgettable. It's like, yeah, he's wandering around the Chaos Wastes getting some kills, but none of his mechanics are overly unique or interesting. Gorok was a free LC Lord, and his whole thing was, I get Lord Croak, but that's it. So I don't think any Lizardmen DLCs have been particularly good. Oh, Nakai. Nakai the Wanderer. Nakai was the closest to being a cool DLC for campaign, but his whole thing is you don't hold cities yourself. You're supposed to give them to like this AI faction. And I remember that maybe they buffed it since I played it, but I played it on release and sorry, I gotta talk about that in a second. I remember playing the Nakai DLC on release. It was pretty whatever. I remember my AI faction I gave shit to didn't do anything with the shit I gave him, and it was just meh. So whatever. But nice friendly fire there, Hellforged Bellowers, as they just delete their own Khorne Gores, take like a quarter of their HP off. Nice job, good shot, idiot. Now, to be fair to the Hellforged Bellowers, trying to fire up over a hill, so of course that didn't work out. But let's get into this game. Double Tomb King's Kitty Cat's very powerful recently. Setra the Imperishable on his. Sphinx Usef next to him, though he did not bring Usurian's Incantation of Vengeance, which is just like objectively the best spell in the entire game. So he's gonna regret not doing that. A Bone Giant to counterfire the Hellforged Bellowers. If you're playing against Khorne recently, you've realized you need artillery to counterfire the Skull Cannon, otherwise you will get kited. Skeleton Spearman and a Hakar Warrior frontline with the Kepler Guard over there, and a couple archers to support. For the Khorne roster, we have a Marauder frontline, one Khorne Gore as well. Then we have Chaos Warriors in the back with the Bloodwake Berserkers, Wrathmongers supporting, Minotaur, Scarbrand, some Chaos Furies, and the Hellforged Bellowers. Now, I just cast a replay that's not out yet with the Bloodwake Berserkers in it, and these guys are very impressive if you don't have the exact tools to deal with them. Now, thankfully for these Tomb Kings, they did bring archers, and archers are pretty solid into Bloodwake Berserkers. Solid. Not like incredible OP, they're gonna die instantly, but for 400 gold, you can get a lot of damage out onto this guy, which costs more than Valkia does, right? So it's about perspective. So hopefully those archers are shooting at the Bloodwake Berserkers. Scarbrand gets in deep. He's going to stop some of these archers, support his Chaos Furies, but the Necrosphinx is here to counterfire him. 25% more damage from that Jaffs and continues to curse blades, but unfortunately the Necrosphinx just T-poses. There's like a million Furies in his way, and he has attack orders onto Scarbrand, so he's not attacking on the way. There he's going to swing, and those Furies will die, so I think that'll be a beneficial situation for the Necrosphinx. Bone Giant, keeping the Hellforged Bellows honest. You really, really, really have to take at least one artillery piece to counterfire it if you're fighting Khorne. It does so much damage to Hellforged Bellowers, who are very expensive, and if you don't, you will suffer badly for not being able to counterfire that thing. So the Bone Giant's doing great. Minotaur's trying to surround Cetra, turn this battle around, because Khorne is having a tough go of it. Their front line isn't winning as much as they would like. Scarbrand's in a bit of trouble. They already lost their Furies, and their Hellforged Bellowers is 1,600 gold and is just about dead. So Khorne's having a bad time. Needs to stop this somehow. The Hellforged Bellowers looks like it is about to demonic instability crumble. But the Bloodwake Berserkers are rampaging through the front line of the Tomb Kings. Not many problems there for them. Bone Giant fires the last shot needed, take out the Hellforged Bellows. It does now need to turn on to shooting probably Scarbrand? Probably. Scarbrand or the Minos is a good target. Ushabti summoned on top of these Berserkers who have taken almost no damage. And that's largely why you need archers or something to shoot them, is because their melee stats are so good that if just left to grind against low tier infantry, they really won't take any damage in return. You need pretty high tier infantry if you're going to fight back against those guys. Maybe the Kepler Guard will get a little bit of damage done. Scarbrand's getting low, and the Bone Giant is actually just trying to shoot at the Bloodwake Berserkers in point-blank range, but the Ushabti are in his way, so he's going to have issues seeing them. Ooh, a corridor is open? Nah, he just shoots his own Ushabti. That's fine, whatever. I really think he should probably be shooting Scarbrand. Scarbrand's now the target of archers and Cetra. Cetra is a way worse duelist than Scarbrand. Actually, the Necrosphinx needs to be over here, but it looks like he's sniping out Minos, so that's fine. It's a fine use of his time. I would just swap this. I think Cetra should be cycle charging the Bloodwake Berserkers, and the Bone Giant should be sniping out Scarbrand. It looks like Cetra is trying to leave now. He has a big green arrow saying get to safety, as these archers say they're firing, but I haven't seen them shoot in a while. Haven't seen them shoot in a while. Haven't seen them shoot in a while. There we go. They're starting to fire. But, yeah. Ranged units are not having their best day. They're having some weird command issues and reformation issues where they just can't seem to figure it out. They can't seem to fire very much, so hopefully CA will patch them soon. I know Anticity has been talking about it a lot, and he's provided a lot of good examples for CA, but Scarbrand is now bodying Cetra. Cetra's actually about to crumble, and still the Sphinx of Usef is not peeling away to protect Cetra. Now the Bone Giant's starting to try and shoot at him, but a rampage looks like it's going to end Cetra's life. So a bit of a misplay here from the Tomb Kings, who are quite up on the balance of power, and I would agree. But just sacrificing Cetra in an ill-advised matchup, while the Sphinx of Usef is also in an ill-advised matchup, just grinding through infantry instead of using its anti-large dueling stats to finish off Scarbrand. As we can see, the Kepler Guard are getting work done onto these Bloodwake Berserkers, so you do need a bit more high-tier infantry to get any damage done to these guys in melee. And the Bone Giant might get soloed out by Scarbrand. If it can land one hit on him, he'll probably start to demonic instability crumble. So I wonder if it just turns and fights in melee anyway. Where are you, Sphinx of Usef? Get your ass over here! You are needed, sir! As the Bone Giant tries to defend itself, the Sphinx is on the way. 1,000 HP versus 12,000. But the Bone Giant is a piss poor combatant compared to Scarbrand. Sphinx comes in, immediately helps out. One hit lands onto Scarbrand, and he will die. Balance power gets worse for Khorne. Bloodwake Berserker is continuing to grind against the Kepler Guard. It looks like Khorne just surrenders at that point. What do you think is going to be the next DLC? Slaanesh, High Elves, Dark Elves. That is my guess. Now, there are multiple good guesses. I think the three main options would be Dogs of War, I guess, is on there, but my order of possibility would be Slaanesh, Slaanesh Vampire Counts, and blank. You could do Slaanesh Vampire Counts and Norska, you could do Slaanesh Vampire Counts and Dark Elves, you could do Slaanesh Vampire Counts and High Elves. I think one of those is the most possible. My personal hope is Slaanesh, Dark Elves, High Elves, because that is thematically a good trio, and I could see a lot of good campaigns and a lot of good narrative around that. But I acknowledge the other one is more likely because those factions need more stuff. Vampire Counts needs stuff. They need stuff badly. But I really want it to be Slaanesh 2 Elves, and then I want the next DLC after that to be Nagash, and I want it to be Nagash, Vampire Counts, Tomb Kings, and Vampire Coast wrapped up into one. I think that would be the best choice. I don't think that's going to be super likely. And then I think Dogs of War is the third most likely behind, Slaanesh Vampire Counts blank and Slaanesh both elves, I think, then Dogs of War. I don't think you get Nagash next because Nagash doesn't fit in with Slaanesh well, but maybe. Maybe he's going to be the Vampire Counts Lord they add, which would be stupid. It should be Neferata. Neferata and Abarash. That should be the thing, is you should give Abarash as a free LC. You should give Neferata as the DLC Lord. But, I don't know. Maybe they'll tack Nagash in there, which I think would be stupid. Happy holidays, Contrarian. Oxy is boring? Hell yeah, he is, dude. For La Luna, good win. I think they played really well to get ahead, and then I think they got a bit lazy with their lead. Didn't micro the Necrosphinx as hard as they were in the early game. Gave Cetra a bad matchup. Just kind of did whatever. And then when they realized Cetra was about to die, they were like, shit, 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 and started playing well again. Because the start and the end of the game, La Luna was playing great. The middle, they just started making really strange decisions. So, like I said, I think they got a little lazy at the wheel, thinking they were so far ahead it didn't matter anymore. The Wrathmongers did fine. I know they didn't get a lot of gold value, but contextually, they still had a lot of HP in the late game. Dactyr just surrendered because the game was over and didn't want to draw it out. But they could have ground for a while more. And also, they were churning through chaff, so they're not going to get a lot of value. But they did put the Tomb Kings on the back foot, so I don't think their low value means they were bad here at all. Minotaurs and Scarbrand did most of the work. The Hellforged Bellers, like, I hear people complaining about the Hellforged Bellers, and I know the Hellforged Bellers are strong, but I can't iterate enough. You need skirmish cav or you need artillery to keep it honest, because yes, if you go full melee into Khorne, you're going to have a bad time, because Khorne is the melee faction, so they're going to beat you in melee. You're not going to be able to shut down the Skull Cannon, and it's going to wreck your infantry all day. But, like, personally, this is an unpopular take. I blame you, because you tried to out-melee Khorne to somehow get to the Hellforged Bellers, which could just kite you. It's fast. It's a motorcycle with a cannon on the back. So, yeah, you do need to outshoot it, which is very possible. It's a pretty bad artillery duelist. There's my Human Boy blames chat for their problems moment. Very relatable. I'm a very relatable streamer that everybody loves. Saving up some replays as we load up a game here of... Oh, this is Dactyr. Then I don't know who Dak Ninja was. I thought that was Dactyr. We have Dactyr versus Arcinium. Saving up some replays while the game loads. Alright, we should be good. Getting into game. End Times is the most lazy shit story of all the books. Yeah, the End Times is terrible. It's terrible. I'm glad I'm done reading them. Who wins, Motorcycle Artillery or Bear Artillery? Oh, Little Grom for sure. Bear Artillery. Yeah. KV, not even close. And KV, if they're in a forest, don't get me started. But we have Slaanesh versus Skaven, as Ikaclaw is going to start the game out with Storm Fiend. Storm Demon? Yes, Storm Demon zapping the Keeper Secrets. For Slaanesh, Devoted Marauder frontline, some have Hell Scourges, some are regular. We have an Exalted Keeper Secrets of Slaanesh with both of his Rampages. And then some Marauder Horsemen, Hellstriders, Seekers, Chaos Furies. Cool. On the other side for Skaven, we have Skaven Slave Slingers and Night Runners. Rat Ogres, trying to support that front line. The Council Guard and other clan rats, more Skaven Slaves, Gutter Runners with poison, more Rat Ogres, and one Rattling Gun with Ikaclaw at the head of the army. Flensing Ruin and Howling Warp Gale for him for spells. Very shooty heavy army. Not a ton of armor piercing, because you don't usually need it versus Slaanesh in this matchup. I'm a little concerned they don't have globes, because demonic units are so weak to globes, like Seekers. If you can get 1 or 2 globe volleys on them, they literally just demonic instability crumble and die. I like the Night Runners and Gutter Runners a lot versus Slaanesh. I'm not criticizing that. I just wonder if you could have cut things down to maybe get 1 or 2 globes. I also don't think you need Rattling Guns versus Slaanesh. Slaanesh's single entities are low armored and very tall, meaning the Night Runners and Gutter Runners can actually pincushion them very effectively. Rattling Guns are just going to get rampaged and insta-killed, and you won't get your value out of them in most cases. Chaos Fury's coming up the back. We have some Night Runners trying to counter-fire. Rattling Guns will turn and shoot them while they're in the net. Looks like they'll get one volley off before the Howling Orpheal wears off, but that might be enough. Furies have crazy low leadership, so if they're not getting their charge bonus, they'll just Demonic Instability crumble at half HP, and there they start to go. So great start here for the Skaven, already getting 600, 650 gold off the board. Night Runners get rampaged into Slaanesh forces. This is okay, they're only 450 gold, which is why they're good into Slaanesh. Okay, you rampaged me, you took out something that's worth about as much as one of your Marauders. Congratulations. You win. Are you happy? You win. You killed basically a Marauder. Joke's on you, punk ass. Nothing I have means anything. So the Skaven are pretty happy with that start. Big old rampage in from this Keeper of Secrets as Night Runners and Skaven Slave Slingers try and fire in, but some of these guys are getting in their own way. They are getting obstructed as they try and fire uphill. I mean, 360 shooting is good, but it's not that good. Come on now. Rat Ogres having to fight against Hellstriders and Marauders are going to have a pretty bad time. So this Skaven flank will slowly lose, but slowly is kind of the key word, as it looks like most forces are focusing over here. The Rattling Guns are having a terrible time trying to get uphill and fire, as now they're going to try and set up, but man, they can't see shit. They can't see anything. They're going to get obstructed immediately, so Seekers will be uncontested, which is also why I like Poison Globes here, is because they have a better arc of fire. Getting a little bit of a shot in, but in comes some kind of rampage that'll immediately take these guys out. There we go. It's a tier 3 Fascination. Insane damage onto the Rattling Guns and rampaging them to their doom. That is a 2-for-1, so those Skaven are going to be out of here. Dactyr Skirmish Cav falling back, trying to kite out the Rat Ogres. I don't know if you need Skirmish Cav versus Skaven. You don't want the game to go very long. I do prefer just hard rushing them. But Ikit Claw is going to die here if the Seekers turn and fight. Seekers, like we just saw recently in this stream, they do a ton of damage. So as long as Ikit is surrounded by them, he will die very quickly. They've killed off all this stuff, so I do really want them to turn around and finish off Ikit Claw, because if you kill Ikit, you just win this game flat out. Skaven's leadership can't stand up to Slaanesh at all if their lord is dead, but the Seekers are not turning on him. The Seekers are confused. They don't have attack orders onto Ikit. You can see by the fact they're just wandering around. Ikit might get to safety. There's a Narcissism cast. Here's a second Seeker. This one needs to get orders onto Ikit. It looks like it is, because he's starting to take a lot of damage. There we go. He's losing big chunks now. That's how the Seekers got onto him. They're running around in circles, still being a little silly. If they could just hurry up and hit him. That was not the player's fault. Sometimes Cavalry is just silly. But Slaanesh is all of a sudden way ahead on the balance of power. I see you donated, KB. I'll get to it in just a second. This game's moving fast, so I can't look away. As the Seekers have given up trying to kill Ikit, they're just going to chase other stuff and get Slaanesh army passive. I think he just wants to reset their charge so that they could get a fresh charge onto Ikit and kill him off. If he's truly actually thinking about letting Ikit get to safety, then that is not the correct play. And it looks like that might be what's happening. Guys! 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 How you beat Skaven is you just kill Lord, win game. You can't let Lord get away. As the Council Guard are getting a lot of damage onto the Exalted Keeper of Secrets, it looks like she's going to run away now. Rampages them mostly for the damage. Ikit is allowed to return to the fight. Slaanesh is far enough ahead that it might not matter, but this is an oversight. For sure. Skaven's starting to crawl back on the balance of power, barely. Still have 4 very healthy Skirmish Cav. Not a ton of ammunition on them, but they're healthy enough. And Ikit is back. Seekers over here are about to Demonic Instability crumble. So are those Furies, so are those Seekers, so a lot of demonic units about to say goodbye for Slaanesh. And Ikit has Flensing Ruins. Do not cast Flensing Ruin here! Stop it! Stop it! I just talked about this on my thing with Tequila Sunset. I just talked about this, but I'm so sick of seeing it. It pisses me off every time. Flensing Ruin. Strong versus characters. Strong versus a single combatant. It says it twice on the thing. It is just a single entity targeting spell. Don't use it to punish blobs unless the blobs contain 2 or more single entities. Just cast it on the enemy lord. It is literally only a single target spell. It does no fucking damage to anything that is not a single entity. It does none. 0. Garbage. Bullshit. I hate it. I hate seeing such an expensive spell cast on the wrong thing. Now, thankfully, the Exalted Keeper Secrets ended up in that circle, so he ended up taking the appropriate damage, though now that damage is riding away from him. It's just attached to these Hellstriders, and I hate it. I hate it so much, because that thing is crazy expensive. It's like almost as bad, and I'm not memeing, it is almost as bad as casting Fate of Buna on a single entity. Because it's like 22 Winds of Magic. Oh, we didn't overcast it. Okay, that's less bad, but it's still bad. If you overcast a Flensing Ruin, it's like 22 Winds of Magic, and it's just no damage to multi-entity models. Please stop doing it. I see it all the time. It pisses me off so much. All right. Keep Her Secrets is fine. She's chilling. We do have some full health Marauders off in the distance. The Skirmish Cav are going to fire one more volley at Ikit Claw and rout him again. And after they rout him, this time, I guarantee you, Slaanesh will not let him come back. So this should be fine. This is Conquest. Slaanesh has captured the point, though Skaven had it for quite a bit, so I doubt we will get to the point where the points matter. Did I say point enough for you? Enough point going on? Ikit's about to get rampaged by Pavane. They're trying to get him to run towards the Hellstriders, who were charging, but they got knocked out of order by the Rat Ogres and then decided to run away. But they probably should have just taken that charge onto Ikit while they could. Oh, okay, rear charging the Rat Ogres gave him enough leadership for just a moment to keep him in. Charging gives plus 15. Now that it wears off, they rout, but they took care of the Rat Ogres. Keeper Secrets tries to get back in. It does rampage everybody in this area, but Ikit Claw is already in melee with Hellstriders, so rampaging after the Hellstriders takes him to safety. Holy shit! As an Overcast of Cleansing Ruin hits the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. Oh, unfortunately, Ikit Claw does take the Overcast damage, and he will get army lost. GG. All right, KV, how dare you? I dare you. Wait, how'd I spend $10 saying this? I don't know, man, but it's appreciated. We love you, KV. Big fan of KV, especially when they piss me off and get me to go on a rant, which is all the time. Seekers both did very well. Skirmish Cav did fine if you consider the fact they ended the game at nearly full HP, so they still had plenty of utility left in them. It's good stuff from Dactor. Arcanium overall played well. It was a pretty close game, so I don't think they did too badly. I really didn't like one of the Cleansing Runes, but I feel like I made that clear. And I feel like my concerns about the Rattling Guns played out. I think this build is fine if you just cut the Rattling Guns and one Night Runner and turn those into 2 Globes. That's enough money, right? Yes, that is exactly enough money. If you cut a Night Runner and a Rattling Gun, just get 2 Globes. Because Globes are so good against Seekers. Like, just crazy good against Seekers. It be what it be. Is that Empire? Is that Chaos Dwarfs? Bale Taurus. Bale Taurus. Dude, I don't want to cast it. Pickle Barrel. Oh, God. He's just doing the thing again. I hate this Chaos Dwarf build, dude. I hate it. I despise it so much. I guarantee to cast 1 game of everybody's that plays in the tournaments. I guarantee to cast 1. I will cast 1. But I despise casting this Chaos Dwarf build. And it's very popular right now if you play Chaos Dwarves. But, like, it's just 3 gigantic single entities trying to solo carry the game, and it is boring as dirt. I just hate it. And what sucks is I want to like Chaos Dwarves, but I don't like their single entities. I don't like Monster Mash in general. I think it's pretty boring. It's fun, like, the first couple times. That's the thing about Monster Mash, is people who don't watch a lot of content go, like, it's fun. Yeah, dude, it is fun. The first couple times. I've been casting stuff for almost 4 years at this point. I've definitely burnt out on, like, oh, fuck, the 2 single entities are duking it out. It's like, if that's a part of a broader battle, it's cool. If the battle is the single entities duking it out, then it's a bad battle. And, like, this Chaos Dwarf build is particularly popular. The build that I'm bitching about is Caster Hero with the heal to heal up the Dreadquake. And then the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire on his mount with Burning Head. You have 2 Bale Tauruses that fly around in duel. Then you have the Demon's Tongue Dreadquake Mortar ROR. That's also like 3,500 gold. And because it can fire in melee, it's insane in melee and at a range. So you have that, and then you have like no money left, so you just get some shitty Goblin Laborers. 1 Fireglaive here, it looks like, and the Blazing Beards. That's the whole build. For the Empire, we have the Temploff Luminarch, which now that it got bug fixed and certain things can't multi-hit chariots anymore, the Temploff Luminarch is actually not very good in this matchup. Its fire damage is mitigated a lot by the Chaos Dwarf's fire resistance, and it can't double hit, which is part of the thing that made the Temploff Luminarch so broken in the first place, so it's not very great. It's still okay, but it's not very great. Other than that, we have the Silver Bullets, Demigryph Knights, ROR, 2 Empire Knights, Healing Caster, Carl Franz, and a bunch of Halberdiers and Spears, but this is pretty interesting. The Temploff Luminarch has a bound net, so it's going to net this guy in place and shoot him in the face while the Silver Bullets also shoot, but no, the Demigryph Knights are standing on top of the Silver Bullets! Move! Move! You're blocking so many of them! Royal Waldorf Griffites, you fuckers! Get out of the way! Ah, that is an unfortunate missed opportunity, because that was a really good play. I liked the net a lot, and now the Dreadquake Mortar takes care of the silver bullets. But I liked the net a lot. I liked all that stuff, but the Demigryph Knights parking their fat Demigryph asses on top of these poor silver bullets. And the silver bullets even get a regrowth. Ooh, I don't like that. He's trying to save some of the models, and I guess I get it, but Karl Franz is literally diving in completely solo right now and getting bodied by the single entity goon squad. So he might have needed that regrowth. Now the Royal Ultra Prince is showing up, but like, I like this Empire build overall. I like his ideas, I like his strategies, but the execution is just like a little off. Like the silver bullets and the Demigryph Knights were doing that, and God, why is this happening? No, God. No, I'm just talking about it. I am just going into, I like his strategy. You net the guy in front of the Temple of Luminarch and the silver bullets, but the Demigryph Knights just happen to sit on top of the silver bullets, so they block the shots. You throw Karl Franz into a duel, and you send the Demigryph Knights to support, and that would be good, but the Demigryph Knights weren't close enough to help Franz until he took most of his HP, and then you're trying to fire with the Temple of Luminarch and the big expensive single entities, but they happen to hit teeny tiny little Franz comparatively, compared to the giant fucking bull, compared to the giant Demon's Tongue Dreadquake Mortar. The Luminarch shoots Franz in the fucking face and even hits the Demigryph Knights. Oh, it's just a disaster for the Empire. An unmitigated disaster. And this is over. Luke R. Humboy, have a Merry Christmas. Just wanted to say I've been enjoying your lore videos recently, and I hope you do more in the future. I will. I will keep doing them, dude. I am curious if people want to hear about stuff that's not in Total War, though. Like, I'm reading the Black Hearts right now, and it's kind of a neat omnibus, but none of those characters are in Total War, so I wonder if people even care. Slaanesh solid 2-0 start. Yeah, solid 2-0 start for Slaanesh. But now, the Demigryph Knights are going to fight to the last man, but they will be defeated eventually. The Bale Taurus is taking out the Temple of Luminarch, and you see that balance of power tank down as the Temple of Luminarch keeps taking chunks of damage. It is very expensive, so it won't be enough. Nice little net onto the Sorcerer Prophet. Nice net onto the Sorcerer Prophet as this charge keeps him moving for a little bit, but overall it does wear off. Demigryph Knights are about to rout, and I imagine the Dreadquake will be firing again soon to take out anybody that surrounds it. But an unmitigated disaster here for the Empire. Dreadquake takes out the silver bullets. Sorcerer Prophet takes out the Luminarch, and that is GG. There's 2 full health Empire Knights, but they can't win this game, so I'm just going to fast forward it. That's the Chaos Dwarf build. I refuse to cast it for the rest of the stream, so if that's all he's going to take today, he's not getting back on stream. Sorry, Pickle Barrel. I'm sure you're a very nice person, but I am so sick and tired of this build. I hate it so much. I hate just watching 3 single entities belly flop around and try and carry a game. For Friedrich Karl Dellenberger, he definitely had the tools to deal with it. I really don't want your takeaway from this game to be this combination is super broken and overpowered and it can't be stopped. It can be, and Friedrich had the tools to do it. Things just didn't go his way. Some of it was misplays, some was really unlucky. Like that Temple of Luminarch shot, really fucking unlucky. The silver bullets and the Royal Dwarf Graphites interaction was honestly also unlucky. Like, should he have noticed it? Yeah. Should he have moved him? Yeah. But the fact that Demigryph Knights would land right on top of them during a key net is just kind of unlucky. So, rip in peace, dude. Rip in peace. Alright, skipping that. What is this? Oh, Dread Saurian Blob. That's Devil. I have a different replay from Devil. I also don't feel like casting a Dread Saurian Blob, so I'm gonna skip that one. Ooh, that's Corvus Glaive. Do I have Corvus Glaive somewhere else? I do have Corvus Glaive somewhere else. I have both of these players somewhere else. Yay! Alright, let's cast some Devil. This Chaos Dwarf player used the exact same build versus me, wrote a Giga Chad. Dude, Derek, is it Giga Chad when that's literally the only build any Chaos Dwarf player has been using? It's just the build they all use now. I don't know. I know I'm being overly bitter towards it. I am just so sick of seeing it. Because I have had to watch so many replays of Chaos Dwarves using those 3 units when I'm making content. Because not even just tournaments, it's like when I'm looking for replays to cast for the channel. Every Chaos Dwarf replay is that fucking build, and it's worn out its welcome. I'm over it. I am over it. I'm done. You know what I'm not done with? Nakai the Wanderer. I love Nakai. His buffs made him really fun. He's pretty good. He's not OP. He's not even the best Lizardmen Lord, but he's fun and he's viable. And that makes me happy. 5 Red Crested King frontline, including the cohort of Sotek, Kroxagor Rush paired up with Cold One Riders, Nakai the Wanderer, Saurus Scar Veteran to try and keep him safe, Skink Priest of Heavens, who just dodged an Imric Breath Attack, did bring Wind Blast and Rand's Thunderbolt. And that is it. On the other side, for the High Elves, we have Imric up on a Star Dragon, a front line of Staunch Spearmen, Archers backing them up, Lava and Seaguard backing those up, the Fireborn, and some Illyrian Reavers. Illyrian Reavers get caught napping a little bit as Kroxagors get a free charge onto them. Lava and Seaguard will need to retarget, help out these Illyrian Reavers before their backline is stopped. Wind Blast knocks all the Archers down, does a little bit of damage, but also just knocks them out of place so they don't get to fire for a little bit. Do what Bahrain does, mass Flame Archers and imbue Flame Co weakness. Yeah, that's how I usually like to play Chaos Dwarfs, but that's also how I lose all the time on Chaos Dwarfs, so I just stopped playing them. The Fireborn get activated, run down Spread Crest Skinks, and on impact take them down to about half HP, which is pretty intense. Love that for you, Fireborn. But the front line is broken. High Elf Spears have fallen apart under the monstrous rush of Kroxagors and Cold One Riders flying through them. So now the Archers are in trouble and have to fall back in front of the Lizardmen Tide. And Imric is doing his best to stop the bleeding. He's landed in some Kroxagors and looks like he might get a little support from Lava and Seaguard or whatever. But we'll see if the pin cushioning of the High Elves is enough. Miasma of Despair and Plaque of Dominion double leadership debuff down onto the High Elves, trying to get these Lava and Seaguard to rout away. Nakai causes terror. Yeah, there we go. So Lava and Seaguard and the Archers start just terror routing, not defending themselves anymore, and the Fireborn get wrapped up in a fight. I don't know if it's a bad fight yet. It might be a bad fight. There's a little too many enemy combatants, but I suppose it's combatants you want to fight. They need a regrowth. We have a regrowth caster. I wonder if they've cast any spells yet, because those Fireborn desperately need it. And if you didn't cast a regrowth on the Fireborn, I didn't see where it went, but it's probably not on the right target. Regrowth should be exclusively for Imric and the Fireborn at this point. Lightning Bolt gonna hit these Lava and Seaguard. Does really solid damage. Nice job. Lore of Heavens stands keep winning. But this is a big old blob. Imric does not have a breath attack for it. I think he just used one, so unfortunately this blob will go unpunished. The Fireborn will not get healing, and the High Elves just not quite up to the task of microing this exact type of build. Like, because you need to regrowth the Fireborn, you need to get perfect bites with them. You need to pin cushion certain targets and dwindle your enemy, and it looks like the Archers were just kind of left to fire at whatever, and now the whole army for the Lizardmen is alive. It's all kind of damaged, instead of a couple things getting focused fired down and killed entirely, and then he buys you space to keep shooting at other things. Also, Imric's breath attacks haven't been on, like, precise blobs. He started off the game trying to hit a foot caster that was still moving, and dragon breath attacks don't have good tracking at all. Elspeth might trick you into thinking they do, but Elspeth is specific and very weird. Most dragon breath attacks you have to be against a stationary target, and usually just punishing a blob. So Nakai does his little dance in, with some Kroxagors helping him out. He's going to fight Imric. I don't know if I've seen a single regrowth this game, and that's hard to quantify, because the Mage of Life doesn't get value for doing that, so if I hover over, she's going to have just literally 0. But I haven't seen any spells. It certainly wasn't to the Fireborn. I don't know what other targets there even would be, so she has to have the Winds of Magic to give it to Imric. Another Wind Blast out to disrupt these Archers. Not that they were that big of a threat to what's currently going on. And Imric is trying to waddle out to safety. There comes the regrowth for him. Probably going to be Overcast. It is. The Overcast damage does a quarter of the Mage's life as well. But this is pretty over for our friends, the High Elves. Army losses is looming. High Elves had the build. You just let the Lizardmen walk over his spears. I mean, there's not much you can do about the spears getting crushed, but I do think he needed to focus fire rather than spread fire. After the DLC, where do you think Khorne, Ogre Kingdoms, Greenskins rank now, Human Boy? We have a tier list video coming out this week, so that'd be spoilers, and I refuse to engage in spoilers. I'm going to fast forward because Imric is doomed. The High Elves have no chance of winning this. Imric just simply can't carry. So, that's GG. I know I'm loading up the exact same replay, I just want to show you what I'm talking about. because I pilot builds like this for a lot of my High Elves. I don't generally take Imric, but I do like mass archer builds for High Elves. So watching these arrows come in, right? They're just all coming in at whatever's directly in front of them. And that's not going to work. You're not going to put out enough DPS to deal with that. See how they're all targeting like different things. Like these two are targeting the same guy. These guys have no targets. They're firing at whatever. This guy's targeting another thing. How archer builds have to work is this. When you have this exact setup coming at you where the enemy is dedicated extremely heavily to breaking through your front line and they're not really harassing your flanks, you can quickly identify that this flank is completely open. So you don't need these Illyrian Reavers here. You can path them over here and then path the Fireborn over here too and secure assets on this flank. So now what you have is a set front line like this with completely unthreatened flanks. Now you have one Golden Spear Rider that's coming around. You still have this Spearman, you'll be fine. And what you need to do with archer type builds like this is take all of your archers and collectively fire at one or two things. One or two max, probably just one. And like kill this red crested skink. And then with your next volley, kill this red crested skink and the Croxagore or whatever that Imric's fighting. Because what's going to happen is as this flank falls apart, you can now take these spearmen because the stuff they're fighting is dead, and you can move them and create a new front line again. So then your new front line will be here, and your archers can fall back behind the front line and get back into position and keep firing, right? Because when you spread your damage, everything is going to lose, and stuff's going to start streaming in. And when everything is at 50% HP, it's still going to be running down your archers. It's still going to be disrupting them. It's still going to be stopping them from firing, rather than killing off a couple things, leaving other things completely untouched. But then you can move your resources to make a new front line. Because archers put out insane DPS if you give them time. You don't need to give them damage. Like a half health red crested skink will still kill an archer. A dead red crested skink can't kill an archer. So you do need to focus fire, because we can see here exactly what I was talking about gets laid out. They're losing everywhere. And the Lizardmen are getting through, and it's like, yeah, these red crested skinks, half HP. These red crested skinks, half HP, half HP, half HP. But they're winning. They're still getting through your front line, and now your archers have nothing to do the rest of the game except for run away. Now, he does do something kind of nice where he pulls the Lothern Seaguard up to act as a secondary front line, but they do more when they're shooting. And it's just too much of a disaster. Not enough archers are able to fire. So I like that he pulled the Lothern Seaguard up to be a secondary front line. I just think he needed to change his firing priorities. Round. All right, I gotta look for more replays, see if there are some. We have more Ogre Kingdoms. We have some stuff. We have some stuff. There's some other stuff. A lot of Slaanesh today. A lot of Slaanesh. I don't appreciate it. Skaven Empire round 2. It's Friedrich. He's back. And he's telling his Templar Luminarch not to shoot him this fucking time. As for the tournament, we are through round 3 out of 4. So everybody is in the last round. High Elves at the build. FTC, let's go. Did you get Gotrek, Sipa, and Pigman? No, I did it with Tequila Sunset. Thanks, Fisho. Hope you're doing good, buddy. For Scabrinos versus Empire, Skaven brought Rat Ogres, Eshin Triads, Skaven Slaves rushing them. Then we have 3 Poisonwind Globes, Clan Rats backing up that front line. We do have Natty Boobla Sharpshooters, some Gutter Runners, and the Gracier of Ruin, Dread 13th, and Warp Lightning. For the Empire, no shooting for them this round. Pitstalier, Reichsguard, Knights of the Black Rose, more Empire Knights, Zintler's Reichsguard, so a very heavy Cav contingent. Knights of Blazing Sun, too. Front line of Spearmen, Bright Wizard with Burning Head, and the Boris Todbringer with his flying debuffs. But unfortunately, the Knights of Blazing Sun getting caught early on Triads and Rat Ogres. Both of those are counters to cavalry, so they do need to path away from this immediately. It looks like they're going to, as the Zintler's Reichsguard come in for a beautiful rear charge. That is cool, that is dandy, but there's Poisonwind Globe support. So I don't know if this is a winning engagement regardless. as the Empire Cav still tries to get to the back line. Natty Boobo sharpshooters are sniping out the Bright Wizard, who's now starting to try and dodge those boars. Toddbringer is getting active here, but he is maybe a little late to the party as a dreaded 13th cast pops up on top of the Empire Spearsman. Gonna rout 2 of them very soon with a rear charge, and the Bright Wizard is just about dead without having to get a single spell off. Zintler's Rice Guard falling back. Didn't get much damage on the Eshin Triads and the Rat Ogres. Now the Poison Globes are trying to get shots onto them while leaving. Poison Globes have taken some nerfs over the years. They're still very powerful, but they are mostly powerful against cavalry. And it looks like the Empire's just going to throw in the towel. Don't necessarily blame them. The battle got spread out. And then it was kind of tough. GG. Okay. I've seen Pizu. We have not seen Corvus Glaive, so let's cast this. Get some Corvus Glaive on the channel. Corvus refuses to ever bring a caster. He often plays as dwarves, but even when he's not playing dwarves, man never brings a caster. It's his bit at this point. Bellord with the Dreaded 13th spell becomes more common. Good to see. Yeah, it's pretty common. I did think that for a while people were sleeping on Skaven. They just kind of kept taking Ikka Claw for Rat Ogres and Flensing Ruin, and if it lost, then they just got mad and said Skaven sucks. And it's like, no, Skrulk's good, Greyseer's good, Brood Horror Lord is good, Deathmatch Snitch is good. So there's a lot of lords out there. There's a lot more Skaven tactics than people try out. And if the big popular one they see on stream doesn't work, they're just like, well, Skaven suck, and stop playing them. Skaven are actually crazy strong right now. People just gotta get creative. Get creative. Alrighty, Slaanesh versus Beastmen, 4 Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh. We have some Fiends and Seekers on the flanks, 1 Chaos Fury up above, front line of Marauders, 1 Chaos Warrior with Whips in the back, and an Exalted Keeper Secrets with double Rampage. For the Beastmen, some Throwing Axe, Centigores, regular Centigores, Razor Gore Herds, a bunch of Ungor Spearman Herds, Ungor Raiders, 1 Gore Herd in the center, Harpies, Minotaurs, and a Beast Lord on the ground, on foot, with his various buffs. Horn of the First Beast and Apocalyptic Vision to buff up his troops. I also like that he went infantry sized, so that Seekers can't surround him as easily, and he'll get knocked around instead of getting beat up by this lady. So actually, putting him on foot is pretty smart, makes him quite tanky. But a quick Rampage takes out our first Centigore. Razor Gore Herd's also going to Rampage from their natural stuff, not because Slaanesh did anything to them, and they get soloed out too. So 2 Beastmen units getting isolated and killed off pretty quickly. Bit of a tough start for them. Frontline fight is in progress. Minotaur support will help win it, but also just these are basic Marauders of Slaanesh. They're not that amazing. And Seekers pick off another Razor Gore Herd, so... The Beastmen having a tough time on the flanks. They did try and set up this little flank, hammer and anvil type stuff, but the Razor Gores did not hold long enough to be a proper anvil. That is an anvil made out of balsa wood, and they died instantly. So you can see the Centigore charge downhill is doing very well, so if the Razor Gore Herds were still here to keep them in place, that could even go better, but not bad. Good rear charge there from the Centigores. And the front line of Slaanesh completely crumbles away. 4 Skirmish Cavs still trying to fire over the top. We'll see what they can do as the Beast Lord fights a bunch of Whip Marauders. Sorry, Whip Chaos Warriors. Calls some of his bros to help him out. Now, Archers can do a lot of damage to Seekers, can do a lot of damage to Skirmish Cav if they're allowed to fire. We'll see, though, as the only thing between them and utter disaster is the Centigore, which is also trying to kite away. The other Centigore is behind them getting good damage out. So overall, a good trade for the Beastmen on this flank. That's going great. Left flank was a bit of a catastrophe for them, but it looks like they've just given that up. They don't care about it at all. This Minotaur shouldn't be here. If they're giving up this flank, they need to fully give it up, not send out an expensive unit to die to Fiends. So that's a bit unfortunate for the Beastmen, but this side's going fantastically well for them. They took out a Seeker, which is not nothing, and another Seeker looks to be on the way out. Harpies are harassing the enemy Skirmish Cav, pushing them away. So that's going all right, and they're killing off the Chaos Warrior too. So Slaanesh is about to lose their last stalwart infantry. A 3/4 HP Marauder does not an infantry corps make. It's one guy. Gore Herds are out here. Gonna get rampaged by the sneaky lady. Centigores finish off that Seeker up top. The Beastmen have claimed the north side of the fight. South side belongs to Slaanesh. We have 1 Skirmish Cav still being a bit of a nuisance, just harassing those Fiends. But without a caster, I worry about the Beastmen's ability to kill off the Exalted Keeper Secrets, because they don't have Traderkin they can just spam over and over again. They don't have Flock of Doom or Melkoths to deal with these skirmishers, so I worry they might get into a late game where they just get skirmished at Cycle Charge, but they do have Standing Archers, which Standing Archers can counter Skirmish Cav. They just output higher damage and usually have higher range than their Skirmish Cav counterparts. So you could try and deal with that. Losing the last of these Centaurs over here to another Rampage is pretty brutal. And quickly we're going to run into a situation where there's nothing to defend the Archers, so then these Skirmish Cav can just throw themselves in melee mode and run at the Ungor Raiders, because now all the melee units left for these Beastmen is this healthy Minotaur, an Ungor Herd, and a Foot Beast Lord. Other than that, they have a Skirmish Cav over here, and 3 completely exposed Archers, which I'm kind of surprised Slaanesh hasn't dove the Archers already. I don't necessarily disagree with their caution, because the Minotaurs aren't that far away, so it could be a bait, but I am surprised they haven't dove on it. But now the Archers are just going to run away from the Exalted Keeper. Minotaurs might get over here, but the Exalted Keeper can probably fall back. The Skirmish Cav also have got to start moving up. They've got to be at least a presence. So it looks like right now they're just dealing with Harpies in the back, and some of them are just sitting around and shooting, but you do need them to deal with these Minos. The Fiends and the Exalted Keeper don't really want to take that fight. They could, they don't want to. They'd win it, but they would take so much damage in the meantime that it might not be worth it. As both these Archers get caught up by an extremely wounded Seeker, really doesn't do that much damage to them, so they'll get to safety, as this other one is still trying to get away too. There's the Rampage at last. She was trying to get that third Archer in the aura, but it wasn't going to work out, so instead the Fiends just jump on these 2 Archers and they're going to eat them alive. The Minotaurs are busy fighting Devoted Marauders, so they're out of position, not able to peel for these Archers, and that is a mistake that's going to cost the Beastmen dearly. Skirmish Cav firing while they can on the Minotaurs. 26 armor, no shields, no missile resistance. They're going to take all that damage as the Skirmish Cav continue to run away. The Exalted Keeper Secrets is onto the last Archer, as the Fiends try and escape from the pokies of the Ungor herds. Minotaurs have at last arrived. And I don't know if the Exalted Keeper wants this fight. She's opting into it. Ungor Raiders get pavaned to force them back into the melee, but this is a bad fight. Exalted Keeper's taking a lot of damage. I imagine this Beast Lord might have Apocalyptic Visions or his other thing, the Horn of the First Beast, to buff up these Minotaurs, but this is the exact fight the Beastmen wanted. Archer support firing over the top, on top of infantry support that belongs to the Beastmen, and Minotaurs cleaving through the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. Slaanesh was doing so well, but then they got impatient. They just opted for a fight they couldn't win. Backing off now. Bounce power is heavily in the Beastmen's favor, but I am concerned that these Minotaurs' leadership is going to fall apart. We need one of those buffs from the Beast Lord if he's going to stay in this battle. He needs either one of his things has leadership attached to it and can keep him in this fight. Fiends are taking a lot of damage. Exalted Keeper took a lot of damage, but here we go. Some Skirmish Cav did get past the main fight, and they might be able to get the Ungor Raiders. Rampage coming in for them. The tier 3 armor ability of Slaanesh will do a lot of damage on its own and rampage them into these guys. Centaurs might need to charge in and help out a little bit as we end up in a pretty close affair. Horn of the First Beast was popped. Oof. And the Slaanesh Lord dives in while Horn of the First Beast is still active for quite a while. Rampages them at the same time, but they just have such jacked up melee attack that they're going to beat the shit out of her. And she runs away while the Skirmish Cav peel off the rampaging units. In comes a full health Centaur with throwing axes. I mean, they have no throwing axes, and they're just a Skirmish Cav, but still, very nice Narcissism to stop their charge. Gives the Fiends a free charge onto them. The Exalted Keeper kind of comes back and deals with it. But now the Rampage has worn off. The Skirmish Cav are gone, and the Minotaurs are free to run you down, little lady. Overextended, trying to path to safety, trying to get out of there. As more Archers close in, they're all very wounded, and their leadership all sucks, as the Apocalyptic Vision gives them the leadership they so desperately needed to stay in this fight. Bounce power is terrible. I don't think the game is that far gone just yet, because everyone's leadership is so bad, but Demonic Instability taking the Keeper of Secrets will certainly end this game, as she manages to rally barely, but army losses comes up anyway. And I don't think that game was quite over, but apparently it was, because their leadership was so bad. GG. What up, Captain Telos? Good win from Corvus Glaive. Good win overall. Played pretty solid. And that's like, not to harp too much on the High Elf game, but just because it relates to that. You kind of saw, this is what I want an Archer build to do, is Corvus abandoned one flank and went hard on the other one to secure his Archers a safe space to sit and fire, and then he dominated that space. So the Skirmish Cav and the Exalted Keeper Secrets they had to be cautious. I think they were being overly cautious, but they did have to be cautious because he couldn't just wander in when the Minotaurs and the Beast Lord were there to do a lot of damage, all while getting shot by the archers. Now, again, I think Pizu was a little overly cautious at that point and got around it nicely, but then opted into a blob fight that was not to their advantage, and they got wrecked on that blob fight. So I do think they had a bit of a misplay there, but Corvus still played well. I mean, he didn't have a caster, which is just a objective nerf to yourself. So winning a game without a caster is still very impressive. I think he overall played it very well. Casters confirmed as overrated. Sure, fam. Sure. You just got 612 kills with a bloated corpse on a massive blob? Hell yeah, dude. Get it. Seekers did alright. Skirmish Cav did pretty well. Fiends did very well. GG. GG. Okay, that's the last replay I saved, so I need to save these ones. Save. 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 And the save. Have I cast any of Frika's games yet? I don't remember saying Frika's name out loud. But we love Frika. Frika, where them replays at? Oh, Frika is Friedrich Karl Dellenberger. Oh. Love Frika. Frika's just a bro. There's no deep lore to that. It's just a bro. Big fan. We might have a semifinal here soon. So for Big JP's tournaments, we cast the semifinals and finals live. There's only one game left in round 4 to be played. And I have no idea how close they are to being done. So let's sift through the replays and see if there's any I want to cast. I haven't cast any World Ender yet. I don't recognize that name, so I want to keep that one around. We saw Nakai and a Croxua rush already. We saw Cetra. Yes, he's on his cat. So we've seen Cetra duplicate a cat already today. Don't need to see more of that. Chaos Dwarfs in the train. That is a hard skip from me. Ogre Kingdoms. That is Golgfag Maneater. But we watched Slaanesh versus Ogres already. So I'll pass on that. I have limited time today. There's many holiday things I have to go do. Oh, the Skaven bias in me makes me want to watch this one. Versus a Fate of being a caster. Okay, it's a possibility. Nakari, that's pretty much an auto cast because we love Nakari. Khorne versus Slaanesh with Arbol. I'll keep that on the docket. Beastmen versus Skaven's pretty cool. Lizardmen versus Ogres is pretty cool. And that is the Black Lions. Okay, we're wildin'. We're wildin' out here. So, Nartimber and XF-Man started 8 minutes ago. That means their game's not done yet. We can cast one real quick. Looking through, there was one that looked really cool. Okay, yeah, this one. We're gonna do this one. So Frika's been getting a bad rap. We haven't cast any World Ender yet, so I'm 2 birds with 1 stone. We're getting World Ender, and we're gonna get Freak game because this shit looks fire. That's the Black Lions against Khorne. Golgfag Maneater? Yeah, he's Golgfag. That's his whole name. That whole Golgfag controversy is really annoying because it's just part of his name. Like, I don't know. Because if you just cut words off halfway through, I'm sure you can find a lot of slurs or swear words in there, but like that's not the whole word. Limit 3 chariot? Not my tournament, not my problem. I didn't do it. So for the Empire, we have a Temple off Luminarch that's currently trying to shoot Valkia. Direct hit, gets a little bit of damage. We have the Black Lions, 2 War Wagons, Pistoliers, and then Empire Knights and Spearmen. Balthazar Gelt in the back, Final Transmutation, and Searing Doom. And then we have the Royal Altdorf Griffites. Temple of Luminarch still poking on Valkia for the Khorne build. We have Skull Crushers of Khorne, Valkia the Bloody, Khorne's Bloody Fist, Marauders of Khorne, and some Marauders with dual weapons. And then in the sky, we do have 2 Chaos Furies and Bloodwake Berserkers on the ground, currently holding the point. So it looks like Khorne is going to accept that they'll get kited, and they're just going to try and withstand and hold that point for a while. I mean, they're still going to walk forward and harass the Empire, but you can see from the importance he put on taking the point, he's like, all right, I at least need to keep a timer going here. Valkia attacks the Temple off Luminarch, and it just nets her in place. I wonder if the Black Lion should turn and shoot her at point-blank range. Yeah. War Wagons and Pistoliers are still shooting sideways into the Khorne forces as they march forward, but the Skull Crushers of Khorne almost caught the Black Lions. They instead get charged by the Demigryph Knights. The Royal Ultra Griffites should body these guys, especially on the charge. They have Glorious Charge that lasts twice as long. And I just saw another Temple off shot. Oh, it goes off in the distance. Okay, I thought there was something way over there it was going for. Ah, there's Khorne's Bloody Fist. For some reason, I thought he was near the white line at the time. Uh-oh. Gelt almost miscast that Final Transmutation. Instead, switches it to a Searing Doom to cancel the bad cast. He does, unfortunately, friendly fire a bit of his Royal Altdorf Griffites, and now he gets out the Final Transmutation he wanted. With an Overcast one on 2 important single entities, while the Black Lions, War Wagons, and Temple off Luminarch fire in, that's actually a huge moment for the Empire to try and take control of this game and just win outright. Royal Drift Griffites down to half HP, but they do rout off the Skull Crushers, and now they're surrounding the Bloodthirster. Valkia is not giving up on Gelt. The Temple of Luminarch is starting to fire, and Frika remembers when this thing pretty much one-shot Karl Franz on his own team. He's like, please, no! Gelt, get out of the firing line in any capacity whatsoever! As Valkia starts to take off, the Temple of Luminarch does get disrupted by Fury, so it couldn't fire up and over the hill, and it just got distracted. Black Lion still firing at Khorne's Bloody Fist. A lot of bullets coming in to harass that guy, but as he takes off, he dodges a huge volley from everything. Temple of Luminarch does a curling corkscrew shot that hits Valkia in the back, but this is where it starts to get concerning for the Force of the Empire. We saw in the other Imperial game that the Temple of Luminarch takes a lot of balance power with it when it dies, but it is very easy to kill. We have Furies constantly annoying it over here. Valkia is about dead. Khorne's Bloody Fist is about dead. There's a lot of infantry left. A lot of infantry. If Khorne can take out some of these mobility elements before they lose all of their own, then the infantry could feasibly grind it out. But with the Final Transmutation going to take out Valkia, maybe Khorne's Bloody Fist as well, depending how long he stays in that circle. It's just an undercast. Okay, he'll be fine. She won't be, but he'll be fine. 6 HP left on her, and she does not break. She does not rout. Valkia is in it to win it. As she throws out a Spear of Sleipnir quick, just kind of desperately, as she does finally rout. -1 leadership as she starts to run away. Royal Ultra Griffites pile into the Khorne's Marauders. Try and keep them at bay. Temple of Luminarch moves up with a ton of ammunition. Black Lions still have half their ammo, but the Pistoliers and War Wagons are running a little low. Felon, I hope things are going well. Things are going well. Things are going well, dude. Khorne's Bloody Fist trying to rear charge the Royal Ultra Griffites. Thinks better of it as he is getting shot, it appears. Now I don't know what he's trying to do. He has 73 speed, but he's just kind of lumbering through the sky, getting shot slowly. Oh, he's going after the Temple of Luminarch. Gotcha. For the capture point, Khorne is about 1/3 of the way up on it. Khorne's Bloody Fist is going to keep the Temple of Luminarch busy. 1 War Wagon is out of ammunition. Another one has 8 volleys. Pistolier has 2 volleys. I thought there was another Pistolier over here. Yeah, this one's out of ammo, but he does kill off a Chaos Fury of Khorne in the meantime. Khorne's Bloody Fist manages to land, gets netted by the Temple of Luminarch as it continues to run away. But he really does need to kill this Temple of Luminarch, because not that the Temple of itself is that dangerous to the infantry of Khorne. The main problem is just the balance of power is going to army loss Khorne pretty soon, and that Temple of Luminarch's holding a lot of value. Khorne's Bloody Fist goes down, army losses takes out Khorne. They don't get to try to hold the point. They just get kited out. 7 mod. I really fuck up my army comp. Which are you? Are you World Ender? Is that you, son? Probably. You probably have too many Marauders. And Skull Crushers are unfortunately still pretty bad. World Ender. If that is in fact a U7 mod. Here, let me suggest something in 1 second. I just gotta check if the tournament host. Okay, tournament host was messaging me some things, but it's not important. So, delete that so I don't cast it again, and let's go answer your question. So what would I build versus Empire? This is just my opinion, so if you don't think it's correct, that's also fine. I'd go Valkia. She was quite solid. I would just go Spear Slapnir. I honestly wouldn't even go Demon Shield. Invulnerable's nice, but it's such a low duration, it's like, if they don't bring the Temple off Luminarch, you're kind of wasting your gold. So, her tiny model size and Bronze Shield protects her from most War Wagon fire. And if they do have the Temple off Luminarch, I might just land her in some trees and wait. Marauder frontline is okay. I think the Bloodwake Berserkers are also a good shout, so I still would take them, honestly. And... a fourth Marauder, that's fine. And then you just want to run the Empire down. Gorby's Chariots are pretty solid, just kind of tanky and annoying. You can get 2 Blood Beasts of Khorne, get 2 Minotaurs with great weapons, and then we get... I think Chaos Furies are too easy to kill. We saw the Pistoliers kill one off, and these things cost 150 gold more than a Pistolier. And that is, like, something I complain about to a lot of people who use Chaos Furies. Chaos Furies are not a bad unit, but I also don't think they're a plug-and-play unit. You can't just take Chaos Furies for the sake of having them. You need to have a specific plan, because these fuckers are 650 gold. That is a lot of gold to throw away and instantly die. So if you're using it to, like, charge ranged units as you try and break a box and you just desperately need some time to function, that's fine. If you're using it to chase down aerial skirmish units, that's fine. But running them after 360 shooting Pistoliers and War Wagons, I think is a huge waste of a unit. Because that's, like, more than a Marauder. That's a Marauder and, like, a half. That's just going to die instantly. So I wouldn't do Furies here at all. I think the Blood Beasts are alright. And then you could grab, like, 3 dogs if you want to. Or cut the Gorby's Chariot and get some Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights with Lances or without, doesn't really matter. Just to pressure the War Wagon Kite, as we saw, is pretty brutal. Actually, wait, keep that Marauder. Cut one of the Slaughter Beast things and just get maybe another dog, because they do well versus Pistoliers or enemy archers or something. You could also cut the Bloodwake Berserkers, because it's pretty new flavor. Instead of that, 5 Marauders still fine, but then you just have a bunch more money to get more mobility elements. But that is largely it. You just need as much speed as possible to run down the Empire Kite. And if the Empire tries the box, you can still break through them with monstrous infantry these days. So if they go with Karl Franz, you still have Minotaurs to deal with them. If they go with Kite, like we saw, you have a ton of mobility to deal with them. If they try and hard box, use your Marauders on the front line and send the Blood Beasts in second. Like... well, they wouldn't have Swordsmen, they'd have Spearmen. Sorry, 1 second. Clear all that. Scarbrand just because I can have him. I just want to show you what I'm talking about instead of just talking about it. Is double net legal? Nah, dude. What's the main difference between Spawn and Blood Beasts? Blood Beasts hit harder and they're faster. Spawn are unbreakable. Karanak plus Herald is Karanak plus Herald is 2 nets. Wait, Herald has a net? Oh, it's untargeted though. Alright, so I just wanted to show you a specific thing. I talk about this, I have a new player playlist if any of you care about these tactics, but there is something I see a lot, is people feel awkward and uncomfortable about giving orders, because I'm going to show you how to do it wrong here, quick. So see how the Blood Beasts are going to get ahead of my guys? So then some people who don't want to charge in ahead of their own guys and get stuck on spears stop their Blood Beasts here. Now, if he has archers, you're in archer range. What I infinitely prefer to do is to just leave my Blood Beasts way back here until the Marauders are about where they are now, and then charge them forward, because Monstrous Infantry are really fast. Cavalry's really fast too. So they'll get into the fight, don't worry about it. 65 speed's a lot, but with the Marauders to break these Spearmen's charge defense, I need to go over here a little bit because the AI is being silly. But yeah, if your opponent's going to hard box his Empire, just shift your Blood Beasts and Minotaurs from flanks to front and just charge in, and then you can break through the Empire front line pretty quickly. Just need to give him fresh commands onto those guys. Yep. But they do good damage. The Marauders are a little distracted because they're fighting 2 Spearmen. Oh my god. Empire Spearmen don't break! Oh my god! How do you always disappoint me, Khorne Marauders? How? Alright. Khorne Marauders are poopers. That makes me sad. Did the general have his buffs? No. How the hell? And the AI had less stats. What the fuck? Empire Spearmen are correct. That or Marauders suck. Marauders probably just suck. Fair. Okay. Then maybe you need more than Marauders to break the front line if Spearmen are going to be cracked like that. Could go Forsaken. Forsaken with Frenzy gets him up to 42 melee attack. Pretty high weapon strength. Because Marauders only have 28 weapon strength. Could also go Khorne Gores, I guess. It's tricky. You don't want to go too many Chaos Warriors, though, because if you just get kited, then that's not going to work at all. I mean, there's always the Valkia problem. So, let's try that again, you cheeky fuck. Monster Infantry should charge in front of your own infantry, but then you're charging into braced spears and you're going to take charge reflection. Are Greenskins S tier? No. I think they're like B or A. Who's the actual admin of the tourney? Big JP. Alright. Well, now we can see what I was going to talk about with the advancing thing. So I don't want to be in range of the archers that are in theory there, so I tell them to move about now. And they'll get there with plenty of time once the front lines collide.
To the fight!
As these spearmen are apparently going to get in the way because the AI are silly. Because the AI are silly. I don't want to jump onto braced spears, but I was just going to show you this.
Khorne's blessings!
Yep. And then they'll break nice and quick and you can get through the front line. That is one thing I mentioned in a different new player friendly video, but I would always use Spear of Sleipnir, Burning Head, Pendulum, and all those things. Use it on the enemy front line. I hate when people use it on archers because archers will survive, and then it doesn't matter. Like, let's switch you to High Elves. High Elves will have a spear and an archer. Doesn't matter. Just want to show you Spear of Sleipnir. Big JP is setting up semifinals right now. So we will go cast a game live soon. I promise I'm not just wasting your time. Marauder dual weapons are bad? They're not great. It was very funny. Okay, so I don't really care about the Blood Beast in this example, I just wanted to show something. So you saw that the Spear of Sleipnir, like, instantly made the— What are you doing? AI, you stupid idiots! Get your stupid spearmen in the line. So, we saw how quickly if I throw the Spear of Sleipnir down on Empire Spearmen, you can get through the front line and then harass the archers. Holy fuck. Total War AI. Figure it out! Figure it. Where are you going? Just shoot at me, you stupid asshole. Thank you. All right. So if you use the Spirit Slaanesh on the archers, who apparently took forever to stop moving, it does a lot of damage, but they still have 90 out of 90 models. They are 100% effective, and they don't even break. The initial shock of leadership wears off, and then they'll usually hang around. But they're still 100% effective. They're still dealing all the damage to my front line, and I'm taking forever to get through the enemy front line. Whereas opposed to, if you use the Spirit Slaanesh on this front line, they break, and then your Marauders can run at the archers, and then for the rest of the game, the archers are going to be running away. So the High Elf Spearmen are literally dead because of the Spirit Slaanesh, and then the archers are essentially dead because they're going to spend the rest of the game running away from your Marauders. So you kill 2 birds with 1 stone if you use your spell in the front line. You kill 0 birds if you use it on the back line. So, and that works for Burning Head, Spear Slaanesh, Wolfric Seafang, anything. Target the front line. Don't use it on archers. It is not worth it. And there's like, you might be able to find 1 or 2 super niche situations where it's like, what if the silver bullets and another handgunner are standing side by side and I get a Burning Head down both of them that kills both of them? Yeah, then sure, do that, for sure. But that's not going to happen in most games. That's not going to be a common mistake from players. The frontline thing is just more guaranteed. And the easiest way to deal with ranged units isn't to get a sick 2-for-1 Burning Head on them. It's to get through their front line and start chasing them down. So, it's more beneficial. Alright. Arcinium. I cast you first. On my way. So we have 2 semifinals and a final that we got to do live. Let's go do it. Let's hop in there. I don't know why I thought a live game would be in my replays. That seems really stupid. That seems like a dumb thing for me to do. But let's go check it out. Let's go see our finalists for the day. Semi-Skaven. I'm guessing there might be some Skaven here. As we're going to have to join and quickly shift over to the other map screen. Meep. Get stoned twice with birds. Yes. Yes. Get 2 birds stoned at once. Love that. The last thing I'll say on that example you're talking about is, yes, there are hyper-specific examples where you shouldn't use that stuff on the front line. Like Burning Head and whatnot, you should use it on the back line or whatever. But I think for like 90% of situations, you should be using it on the front line. And it's safer if you're learning the game to just do that, because in more situations, it'll be more beneficial to use your spells on the front line and get through them. And then when you're good enough at the game that you know those specific situations in a game where you can use your spells on not the front line, you can look out for them and you don't need that advice from me. You know what I mean? And obviously I don't mean all spells. I mean crowd clearing wind spells. Don't use Fate of Buna on a random spearman. You bring Fate of Buna to use it on like the Fireborn or a heavy cav piece or a weapons team type piece. Like that's different. But for wind type spells, I think you should use them a strong majority of the time just on the front line. Sometimes features in the past, the match could have been in your save game folder. That's true. Give it Eagles AP? No. Flock and Stock? True. I mean, that is a good example. Flock of Doom is pretty good use on the front line. It's not a wind spell. But not a lot of spells are going to kill archer models. And archers care about models. They don't care about HP. An archer with 1 hit point is just as effective as an archer with 100, as long as he is standing and shooting. But what if my opponent sends his handguns into melee and leaves his spears behind? What then, human boy? Sofiane, you got me. You got me, son. I guess all my advice sucks. I guess all my advice is terrible. What faction needs better heroes? Lizardmen. Okay, High Elves also need better heroes, but so do Lizardmen. There's a lot of good answers to that. Lizardmen heroes are trash. Lizardmen heroes are terrible. No, they're just not good. High Elf heroes also aren't that good, though I have seen some use of the Lore Master of Hoeth, the foot sword guy, because he has some pretty neat combo spells, and he's okay. The High Elf heroes definitely need buffs. In a head-to-head, I still think Lizardmen have worse heroes than High Elves, but it's close. Dark Elf heroes aren't impressive. Empire heroes aren't impressive. Besides the Engineer, but like Witch Hunters kind of suck. Empire Captains kind of suck. Theodore Bruckner kind of sucks. Their Battle Wizards are good, though. So that's one thing I'll give them. Their Battle Wizards are good. Slaanesh's heroes kind of suck. There's actually, like, I would say more rosters have bad heroes than not. Heroes are not doing good right now. Heroes are not eating good. All right, semifinal live game. This is not Swiss anymore. This is do or die. Whoever loses this is out of the tournament. Whoever wins this goes to finals. For the Skaven, we have a Storm Vermin Quadra Halberd frontline, 4 Poison Globes backing them up, some Eshin Triads, Rat Ogres, and a Grey Seer to hold up the middle. This is a very compact Skaven army. Who has the best heroes? Wood Elves and Dwarves are good. Dwarves is definitely up there for best heroes. I mean, Dwarves probably have the best heroes flat out. I'm trying to think of who else has good ones. Chaos Dwarfs have good heroes because of their mount options. Bretonnia has okay heroes. Paladins, Henry Le Massif, the Green Knight, Damsels are pretty good. Yeah. I think those are some good shouts. Norska's heroes are actually pretty good. Khorne heroes do slap? Karanak is doing a lot of work there, but we gotta focus up. So for Slaanesh, on the other side, we have 2 Seekers, 2 Hellstriders, 1 on each flank, a front line of Devoted Marauders, Forsaken, and Demonettes, Chaos Furies over the top, and Azazel with Pavane and his Discourage. But Skaven bring a lot of anti-air in their builds, especially the spell. One of the cheapest aerial nets in the entire game. Howling Warpgale Overcast going to keep all these Chaos Furies in line as the Globes ready a second volley on these guys. Getting pretty decent damage out, but they're not Night Runners. They don't have as much damage versus Chaos Furies, but a second Poison Globe lends some aid, getting really solid damage out. And remember what we talked about earlier, this is close to 2,000 gold value dying right now. That is no joke. That's a Slaughter Brute. That terrible single entity. That is a Slaughter Brute dying as a very nice Warp Lightning plus Scorch combo goes up the line as the Seekers try and help break through the front line. But these are Storm Vermin Halberds and they are going nowhere. As the third and final Fury from that central blob dies, we also have more Forsaken getting killed off on the sides. But now Slaanesh's mobility is here, and they've got to turn this game around and quickly. Seekers backing out from their fight with the Eshin Triads, but a beautiful rear charge in from the Hellstriders should take out the Rat Ogres quite quickly, as Globes are now getting contact with Demons. Demonettes, to be specific. Azazel and Furies teaming up on more Globes over there, and this Globe is taken out as well. Hellstriders and the Seekers look like they're going to try and leave the Rat Ogres and Eshin Triads in the dust and instead charge over onto these Globes who try and reform lines quickly, get a decent volley out onto the Hellstriders, solid damage, but it's not enough to save their lives, and they will get shut down now. But Azazel is left alone as his Seekers get Demonic Disability crumbled, and the Skaven have a very strong lead on the balance of power. The damage value doesn't look as terrible, but Slaanesh isn't feeling good. They aren't feeling good at all, Mr. Krabs. As Slaanesh takes out the last healthy Globe, and a nice tier 3 fascination onto this Council Guard. The Rampage isn't as important here. They were just going for raw damage. I wonder if they might have wanted to use that on the last Globe that's still actually in the game. As that Globe's going to get to safety immediately. Sees Devoted Marauders returning to the fight and says, we can't have that. Can't allow that. Big chunk of damage. Not enough actually to knock them out, so those guys are going to stay in it, leadership-wise. Demonette's fading away. We still have 1 Seeker, and the balance of power is so bad for Slaanesh. I guess I agree. Something must not be tracking on the gold damage value for the Skaven, like Globes or something wasn't tracking right, because there's no way they only have an 1800 damage lead. As you look around the map, they have done way more than 1800 damage different. As these Demonettes are about to fade away, that might honestly trigger army losses, just losing another unit like that. It wasn't quite enough, as the Seekers go for a brutal rear charge on these Clan Rats. Catch them unbraced, get some decent damage out as Azazel's also picking them off, but there's a lot of Triads coming in. There's still a lot of Halberds. There's a full health Grey Seer chilling over there. And Globes even throw onto the Seekers. And remember when we talked about that all-night runner build? Yeah, globes do insane work versus Seekers. This one only had 15 out of 48 models, and one volley did half HP to Seekers. It's Donkey Kong. You just gotta take globes versus Slaanesh. And like, if they're gonna snipe your globes, make them work for it. Make them prove that they can. Make them spend the winds of magic. Make them spend the time killing your globes. And if they kill them, they're 650 gold. Who cares? They cost as much as one of those Furies. They cost as much as one of those Furies that died instantly. Globes are so good. People who have turned on globes and been like, nah, globes suck. Nah, you're crazy. Globes are still insane. I'm still advocating for globes nerfs. I'll die on that hill. Globes are still OP. Azazel gets army lost out. And Skaven stand supreme. Their Storm Vermin front line, quite stalwart. The GG. Who needs Icket Claw? Who needs Flensing Ruin? Grace here all day. I have a mod that let Teclis use a Flamespire Phoenix instead of an Arcane Phoenix, and it is lit being able to fly around and bomb stuff while playing a caster. That's pretty funny. I was looking at flying ranged. Yeah, flying ranged is more limited than flying melee. GG. Who's my other one? Who dares challenge? It's Devil and Dactyr. Got it. Alright. I messaged the other semifinalists, telling them to give me a lobby code. We had Sturmvermin Halberds who did okay. Globes that got really good value, except for the ones that got instantly shut down. On the other side, Azazel did okay. Demonettes did alright. Forsaken got wrecked. Hellstriders got wrecked. Seekers got wrecked. And Furies got wrecked. 3 of them got 0 value. We will be seeing Arcanium in finals. And Devil has sent me a code. Now these two have been matched up the entire time we were doing that battle, so they should be, if they're not already ready to just hit start, they should be pretty close to done with their builds. Won't be a lot of downtime here. We're in. Is that Pickle Barrel on Chaos Dwarfs? I thought it was Dactyr. I'm confused. You really like the format with the finals and semifinals? It's hype. Lies. Holy! He fucking did it. He did it. That's it. We gotta root for him. Root for the Chaos Dwarfs. Root for the Chaos Dwarfs. Let's go, Chaos Dwarfs. Why? Why, Human Boy, are you all of a sudden the Chaos Dwarfs team? Because he brought a cool build. He brought one of the builds that isn't the fucking train. Because I hate the train. Look at this shit. Let's go, Pickle Barrel. Sorry, Devil. Love you, buddy. You're a good buddy. You're a good lad. You hang around the Discord. You post funny things. I like Devil. But Pickle Barrel! Let's go take this shit to finals. Triple Iron Sword, Blazing Beards of Bosrock, double Infernal Guard with Fire Glaives, Goblin Laborers, and a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire with the Bulls that are run with great weapons. I don't give a shit. I just like that it's not single entity spam because I want to like Chaos Dwarves, and this is not that build, so I'm excited again. Let's go. Let's go, Pickle Barrel. Let's go. Fucking hero. Look at him. Look at him go. Look at him up there. All right, Doctor had to go, so he gave up his spot to the barrel of pickles. The pickle barrel. Which also is a shame that I've been dogging on him so much, because he has a great name. Who doesn't love a barrel of pickles? 5 red crested skinks in the front line for Devil, 2 skink skirmishers. We have a skink priest of heavens with Thunderbolt and Windblast. Sora Scar veteran backing up Nakai with their double leadership debuff combo. 5 Croxagores in the front, 2 Cold One Spear Riders, and that is that. Thomas, the evil tank engine, is back, but it's not back. I can run from it. I can hide from it. Khorne elite units and single entities, but anything under 800 is dog water. There's some decent stuff, but you're mostly right. Khorne Marauders are a strange thing. I talk about it too much, so I'll keep it short here, but Khorne Marauders on paper have really good stats, and then in game just kind of suck, and I don't know what that's about. I don't know why Khorne Marauders are uniquely bad, but they're pretty terrible. They're pretty bad. I mean, hell, they couldn't even beat Empire Spears with a fucking Spear Slaanesh. Yeah, that's cringe. That is cringe and bad. Alright. Game's up. Forces moving forward slowly. We have 2 Infernal Guard with Fireglaves ready to light up Croxagores. We also have a lot of blasting charges that's going to be really good. Red Crested Skinks are super great, amazing infantry, but they are low armor, and if you can get those blasting charges onto them, oh, that'll do a lot of damage. Infernal Ironsworn turning. I was a little worried when they tried to reform lines because they need to be facing the correct direction for those blasting charges to go off. And they get attack orders on the Red Crested Skinks. Yes. Take out the Red Crested Skinks. Isolate the Croxagores in the late game. In come the blasting charges. Big ol' damage onto those Red Crested Skinks. Look at them go. They're already going to rout because Infernal Ironsworn are lit. And the Fireglaves are firing into the Croxagores. Fireglaves do slow, constant damage. It's not going to be a crazy burst like their blunderbusses are, but already we have 2 routing Red Crested Skinks, and now the Croxagores have to move in alone while in front of the firing guns. It is going to be a bad start here for the Lizardmen, but can they hold on and clutch it out? Bull Centaur Renders with great weapons get a great fight. They are on top of the Blazing Beards of Bosrock, so they also have support. These Infernal Guard need to turn and fire at something that isn't in the blob, because the blob, we have Bull Centaur Renders between them and their targets. They can't see. Ignore the blob. That's a melee fight. You got to protect yourself against these. Now, this is the concern. The Red Crested Skinks were killed off immediately, but now the Lizardmen are onto the back line. But it looks like the Chaos Dwarfs are just committing harder to the blob fight. They really want to win that. They're not going to dedicate any resources to saving their ranged units. Now, the ranged units are hybrid. You know, these are hybrid halberds. Maybe that'll be worth it. I think if they win the blob fight and they straight up kill Nakai and the Sora Scarpeter, this could be worth it. But if this kind of ends up being a wash and both parties just leave, I think this is a big win for the Lizardmen. So this is risky from the Chaos Dwarfs. They're going all in on this engagement. Because without your Infernal Guard Fireglaves, if this goes to a late game, you are going to get whittled down by the mass of the Lizardmen. Nice Thunderbolt out. Does good damage on the Blazing Beards and the Bull Centaur Renders. Another Burning Head to kill off the cohort of Sotek. But yeah, the Lizardmen clawing their way back into this game as they have routed off the Blazing Beards and the Bull Centaur Renders, leaving the Caster Lord on the ground alone fighting Croxagores and Nakai. Infernal Guard are still trying to hold on to the back line. They're doing good damage to the Cold One Spear Riders. Like I said, they're hybrid halberds, but they are slowly losing out. And now Nakai and the Croxagores surrounding the Lord. He has no support nearby. The Blazing Beards are back, and they have blasting charges. Maybe they can throw in, do some damage. Those are Croxagores. The blasting charges won't do that much damage, unfortunately, for them. Like, they'll do some, but not a ton. The Bull Centaur Renders peel for one of the Infernal Guard. Okay. We're peeling for him. Blasting charges with guard mode on, thrown at these Cold One Spear Riders. They're trying to get those guys healthy so that someone can help the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, who is taking a lot of damage, who is about to rout. And the Infernal Guard are here. They're firing point-blank range into the back of these Croxagores. Blazing Beards have run back in as well. Court of Sotek is down to 10 models. Occasionally surviving just because they refuse to die as a nice Burning Head goes through those guys. Blazing Body trying to make this guy a little bit tanky, a little bit stronger. Goblin Laborers have peeled there. Where are those Bull Centaur Renders Great Weapons? They're coming back into the fight, but big damage on the Sorcerer Prophet is going to rout him off. Lizardmen are slowly getting back into this game, balance of power-wise, damage value-wise. They've actually taken the lead. And the Chaos Dwarf Lord might die. Yeah, he's going to shatter at least, so he's not going to be a factor in this game. There's no way he rallies. Chaos Dwarfs lose that critical leadership. They're going to lose Goblin Laborers. They might lose this Infernal Guard. They're still ahead on the balance of power, barely. They're behind on damage value. The Red Crested Skinks over here are going to rout soon. Good disruption on the Infernal Guards. They can't keep firing. Nice little Thunderbolt to do a bit of damage. Not crazy amounts because they're pretty spread out, but a little bit of damage here and there as the Blazing Beards reset. Infernal Ironsworn actually getting close to breaking across the map. Can the elite infantry hold on as the Bull Centaur renders get back in there? This is going to be actually really, really bad, though, because their leadership is turning into a problem, and Nakai has that roar where he can just lower their leadership even further. So Nakai is making this even harder for them. If the Saurus Old Blood was still alive, which died a long time ago in the Blob fight, if that was still alive, the double leadership debuff would have actually been too much for Lizardmen to bear. As the Infernal Guard walk into melee with Nakai, that's not the player's fault. I have talked about it a lot recently, but Inticity has been petitioning CA to fix range units for a while, where they just kind of awkwardly walk around and don't tend to fire. As these guys have been trying to shoot Nakai for a long time, and now there's one Bull Centaur render that is remotely in the way, and they're like, well, we can't see him at all, even though these guys can definitely see him. So they're still trying to get a shot off on Nakai. Bull Centaur renders get rear charged by the Cold and Spear Riders, so that free charge might cost them a lot. They're trying to fight to the death against the Cold and Spear Riders, but it's not going to be enough. Infernal Guard still trying to fight, still trying to clutch it out, but Pickle Barrel is falling behind. Slowly but surely, Terror Rout takes the Infernal Ironsworn. Infernal Ironsworn aren't ITP? Come on. Oh, come on. Hot take, but any infantry that costs over 1,000 should be ITP. There they all go, as do the chances for the Chaos Dwarfs. A very close game. Predictive Lightning Bolt? That was close. That was close to being a Predictive Lightning Bolt. I mean, it still hit him, so it counts, but it wasn't like dead center. But yeah, that was pretty good. I do think it was a very, very close game. So Pickle Barrel nearly had it, but I think we called it earlier when he hard committed to that blob fight and then didn't win it. It was like, oh well, shit. Now we don't have any ranged left. We don't have anything left. Our Lord is stuck in a bad fight, and then he dies. So I think he was doing really, really good in the early game. Really, really good. I just think he overcommitted. Infernal Ironsworn did well. Infernal Guard Firelegs did well. Bull Centaur Render did very nicely. Lord did okay. On the other side, Nakai did pretty nicely. Source Scar Veteran didn't do too much. Heaven's Caster got 1,600 value, which is quite a lot. Red Crested Skinks got immediately massacred by all of the blasting charges. That was wild. And then Croxagores overall did well. So did Source, the Cold and Spear Riders. GG. I love that Chaos Dwarf build, though. Loved it. It was great. I'm just messaging Pickle Barrel. I'm giving him positive feedback so that in the future I get more Chad Chaos Dwarf builds like this. Devil is the host, and since he's going on to finals, I presume I'll just be staying here, and the other person will join, so I'll just hang out. Goodbye, Pickle Barrel. Goodbye. Chaos Dwarfs could use heavy infantry unit with anti-large. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they don't have any halberds. Like, Infernal Guard with halberds, but that's not what we're talking about. It's not real. We have a finals coming up. We have Devil versus Arcanium. Skaven and Lizardmen. Now, here's the thing. My loyalties are split, because I think Lizardmen and Skaven is even now. I think it's even. It used to be terrible for Lizardmen. But now people think it's still terrible for Lizardmen, and I keep insisting that it's fine. Lizardmen got some key buffs that help them a lot. So do I root for the Lizardmen? Or do I root for Skaven, my boys, my lads? We gotta root for the boys, the lads. We'll go with Skaven. We'll root for Arcanium.
You shouldn't root for anybody. You're the caster. That's not allowed. You're dumb and stupid.
Yeah, joke's on you. I root for who I want. I do what I want. Okay. New player, top 4. What's the map? What's the map? What's the map? Description. Map is Valley of Thieves? No, it's Schwarzhafen. Schwarzhafen. I got this. Schwartz. Okay, I got the map set. All ready up. No, we don't need unit caps. I misclicked my formation by right-clicking the ground with everything selected. Oh no. Yeah, Pickle Barrel. I figured that out, dude. Dude, okay, you can check the tapes. I was rooting for you. You could check the tapes. You can... Listen, I'll talk shit. I got it. I'll talk shit when I don't like something, but I will shower people with praise when I do like stuff. Every time I've watched a live vid or Tourney Lizardmen, it's just them stomping at people with the dread soaring for 10 minutes and losing if it dies. That thing just never dies. But Rageworthy, aren't you watching a live tournament of Lizardmen right now and we haven't seen a Dread Saurian all day? Rageworthy, is that not false by the very stream you are a part of at this exact moment in time? Okay, so it's finals hype. We have 120 people here watching. As soon as finals is over, we're going to lose like all of these people. But just a couple things here. Oh, as I started talking, we lost 11 people. I will go back and cast maybe a couple more games from the Swiss stage. I do have a lot of things to do today, so I won't be able to cast all of the games that I kept, but we'll look for one or two more. I'm going to be gone for Christmas. My in-laws are going to Colorado, so we're going to go over there for like a week and hang out in a cabin and stuff. I will have a tier list coming out during that time. I will also have every faction's best Regiment renown for campaign, domination, conquest, and land battles. I'll be making that video with Tim the Wilder. So we'll have some hype content coming out while we are gone. But then January, before you guys fuck off, January we have the World Cup, where we got teams together from all around the world, different countries, repping their nation. So we'll have the World Cup. We will have a faction war. No, the lobby bug! That's so sad. All right. Host game and spectator. Failed to host a game, that's cool. All right, 1 second, I gotta get this going again. Conquest, Schwarzhafen. And code. All right. There's a known bug that made that just happen, and the players are like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm like, it happens. Okay, so I'll get the people back in here. But anyway, we have a faction war in February. January. In February, we're going to have a series of 4 try-hard, sweaty, best player tournaments. And then the top 4 from those tournaments will go on to play a super big, awesome tournament for a big prize. So that'll be a lot of sweaty, try-hard fun. We'll have an equivalent tournament series for new players. So that'll be chaotic, wild builds and fun. And then in March, we'll have Vermin League playoffs, which is the best of the best that play on our Discord best of 3 bot. So in January, you have Faction War World Cup, which is hype. In February, you have Sweaty Tryhard and new player tournaments. And then in March, you have Sweaty Tryhard tournaments. So you should stick around, man. A lot of good stuff coming in 2024. I'm actually going to look at the builds and make sure that they build them the same way. Because there's no reason to block it after we know what the build should be. So, Nikai, Skinks. That is the same build. So Lizardmen have the same build. We'll now watch the Skaven construct their build. Warp Blighty Cannon, Teeth Breakers, 2 Rat Ogres, 4 Poisonwind Globes, 2 Skaven Slave Slingers, 2 Eshin Triads, Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, 4 Clan Rats with Spears, though 2 of them didn't have shields. Where did he spend that money elsewhere? He needs 2 Slingers. Cut a Skaven Slave, get a Slinger, downgrade the 2 shields. He's working on it. He's figuring it out. He's figuring it out. He just needs a Slinger. He just needs to look at it. Look at it. That's the build. That's the build. Make sure this build's the exact same. Yes, it is. Let's go. By the way, looking real cute today, not a real Ratman. That's hard for you to tell, since I don't have a camera on, but yeah. Again, over 100 viewers, glad to see the channel doing well. You think this is doing well? This is not great. No, it's good, it's fine. You know what is weird? Releasing daily videos, and when the videos are popular, they get like 20,000 views, and then the next one will get like 800, and it's just weird. It's very strange. Because I'm used to, in the doldrum times, literally every video I release gets 2,000 views. Like, almost without fail. And then when it's popular times, it's like big spikes and big valleys. Because sometimes the video that's spiking super hard will still be spiking when the next one comes out the next day, so it gets overshadowed by the previous one. And then doesn't get recommended as much or whatever. It's just weird. This is finals, boys and girls. We have Devil on the Lizardmen and Arcinium 64 on the Skaven. Love the Skaven. Big fan of them. Old Scabrinos. But on the other side, they also have Nikai, who is my favorite Lizardman Lord. This is tough. It's a tough time to be a Human Boy caster right now, when I have to pick favorites. But we gotta root for the rats. Everybody loves the rats. We have Rat Ogres, Skaven Slave Slingers, Ikid Sap Sap, the Teeth Breakers, Rattling Guns, Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, along with a Clan Rat frontline, some Poisonwind Globes, a Grey Seer, and an Assassin. The Assassin just has Assassin's Trophy. You know how you can get those 20k numbers often? Skaven Battles all day, brother. Hell yeah. Only Skaven Mirrors all day. Grey Seer has Howling Warp Gale and Warp Lightning. He just wants to spam out those 2 spells. Kind of surprised he didn't take the Lore of Ruin passive if he has 2 cheap spells, but it is what it is. And there's time for the Lizardmen. We have Skinks and more Skinks. Very strong against Skaven. Saurus are too slow and get killed easily by globes. We have 5 regular Skinks, 5 red crested Skinks, one of which is the Code of Sotek. We have double Quaddle for mass disruption and bound spells. And then we have Nikai the Wanderer, leadership debuff and more disruption. And then we have a Heavens caster with only Wind Blast. 4 Feral Cold Ones back them up for a bit of mass. But this is every cheap unit you can possibly take and chuck them at the Skaven. It's pretty effective. It's a pretty effective way to play against Skaven. I think this is quite close to my counter Skaven build that I've been having a lot of success with. And before you give me shit, I played Alfredino, and Alfredino was on Skaven, and it came down to Nakai missing one attack on a Greyseer was the difference between who won that game. Because if he had gotten that shot, he would have killed the Greyseer and routed the spears and rat ogres that were surrounding Nakai. And if he missed that shot, which he did, the Greyseer got to safety, and then I got swamped in rat ogres and spears, and Nakai died in the very late game. So I insist this matchup is even now, and if I, Shitmaster Human Boy, can have a close game with Alfredino, best player in the world, I feel like that's valid. But the front lines are starting to collide. Skink's going to take a lot of damage, but the red crested Skinks, the real winners of the day, get here mostly uncontested, so that's a big win for the Lizardmen. One Quaddle is getting lit up by the Teethbreakers and Ikit Zap Zap, having a tough time, but the other Quaddle gets in uncontested. Beautiful charge straight through the Teethbreakers and does a lot of damage to them. It'll get them to rout soon. Nakai is offering a little bit of support to the front line as a Wind Blast against low armor Eshin Triads does do a lot of damage. Primal Roar from Nakai does buff up the Skink cohorts, giving them 40 more melee attack, but their lackluster weapon strength makes it very hard for them to actually make progress against those Eshin Triads. Teethbreakers have officially routed. Ikit Zap Zap is still firing, and the other Quaddle is back in the sky. It looks like it is going to path straight over and harass Ikit Zap Zap in the far back, where there's no melee units that can really quickly get there and stop it, since the only thing nearby is a Rat Ogre, which is busy dealing with the other Quaddle. Skaven front line is holding for now. The multiple layers of Skinks make them very tanky, but they still don't particularly get through a front line that quickly. Red Crested Skinks now starting to get on their first Poison Wind Globe as Nakai continues to push forward and be a nuisance. Another Howling Warp Gale onto the Quaddle. Honestly, you could just land it, but that is a lot of micro and there's a lot going on. But he could land it to get in range of the Ikit Zap Zap and just start killing it anyway. Assassin is hunting down the Heavens Caster, slowly poking that little Skink to death. It's gonna be tough. Sure, Helmus, let's get you to bed. Hey! Hey! You're silly. This may be rough for the Skaven. Maybe. You still have Red Crested Skinks pushing in. Nakai is starting to route some stuff, and this is where things get hairy for the Skaven, is when the initial battle lines break up and all of a sudden things become chaotic. Their ranged units get disrupted by Quaddles and stuff. The Teethbreakers get routed away, though they are coming back. They can shoot this Quaddle. They have a decent angle on it, honestly. The Quaddle might have to bail quick and go deal with the Teethbreakers, but we'll see. We'll see how quickly they get rallied by the Skaven, if he even notices that they're back, as Quaddle dives into yet another Poison Wind Globe. Nakai still terror routing off a bunch of stuff, but other globes are rallying. Devil is catching back up on damage value, as we saw him do versus the Chaos Dwarfs. He seems to love taking a lot of damage at the start of the game and trying to claw it back, as Teethbreakers are now firing into the Quaddle, taking a couple hundred HP off of it with every volley. And it's sitting on Eshin Triads. This Quaddle definitely needs to piece out of here. It needs to find a different fight to be in, but it doesn't look like it's going to do that in time. It now starts to path away, but it is too late. It's probably going to die before that really matters. The other Quaddle still causing disruption with Red Crested Skink support, and it looks like Nakai is now going for a Lord Snipe to try and rout the Skaven off. Not a bad plan. I worry that he's going to have to do it in front of Ikit Zap Zap and on top of Eshin Triads while the Teethbreakers rally as well. So he needs some kind of support. The Assassin is really going hard for the Skink Priest of Heavens. He's going after it as Feral Equivalents try and stop him in place. Oh no! Globes! Globes, stop! They're trying to throw out random Red Crested Skinks, but it's mostly going to hit Rat Ogres and the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. That's not a great trade. As a dreaded 13th summon comes on to Nakai the Wanderer, and the Ikit Zap Zap is still shooting him in the back. The Quaddle is also going after the Greyseer, and it needs to be doing some peeling for Nakai. Nakai can chase the Greyseer around all day. He's pretty good at that. But with the Teethbreakers slowing him down with Suppressed, and Ikit Zap Zap just shooting him over the top, it's going to be really difficult for him to get anything done. So the Quaddle needs to get up in the sky and go terror out these guys and rout all them off and give Nakai the space to do the dueling he wants to do. And he can't stay here. He can't stay fighting the Eshin Triads and the Stormvermin, but it looks like he keeps getting knocked down by Ikit Zap Zap. I'm trying to see if he's actually staying in the fight or if he's just getting knocked down over and over again. Yeah, he has movement orders. Okay, so Devil knows that. Devil knows he needs to get to safety as the Quaddle goes plowing through Eshin Triads again. Blocks some of the Ikit Zap Zap shots, but someone has to get back there and do something. As the Teethbreakers get stopped by random Skinks and Poison Wind Globes go, don't worry, bro, we got you, and instead just kill both of them. The Teethbreakers might rout from that extra damage they just got. Stormvermin Halberd summon is actually close to terror routing, but they're going to tear apart an entire Quaddle with their time here. Got 800 value off that summon. That is going to be army losses. Lizardmen lose. And it is a toughie for them there. I think they needed slightly different target priority for the Quaddles. Had to disrupt more of that ranged in the backfield. I'm very curious what Ikken's Zap value was. It has to be insanely high. $2,100. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Teethbreakers got 700. Rat Ogres did fine. Poison Globes did pretty fine. Everybody who's saying Poison Globes are bad now or you don't have to take them is silly. They're silly and they're molding. As Nakai did not get a lot of value, unfortunately, for himself. Red Crested Skinks did pretty well. Feral Coldlands did not get much done either. The Quaddles did a lot of disruption. Never doubted them for a second. Skaven Supreme. Easy. Easy W. Good job, Devil. Good job, Arcanium. Good job, Pickle Barrel. And good job, Pizu? I remember the guy played Slaanesh and his name is like 4 letters long and it's Zoo. But is it Pizu? It is Pizu! I remembered his name! Yes! Alrighty. I have a lot of stuff to do because I have Christmas with family tomorrow and then we're traveling. So I can't guarantee I'll cast all of these games, but let's go check out some of the games. I'm going to skip this one. We saw Devil being a Chad, getting to the semifinals. We just saw some Skaven, so I'm going to skip this one, just for the sake of time. I'm going to skip this one, because I don't really feel like watching Skirmish Cav. It's not that bad, it's just, I'm being extremely picky right now. Because I remember I wanted to see this one. I really wanted to see this one. I can skip that one. I also kind of want to see this one, but I don't have time for it. But that one looked cool, too. I kind of wanted to see that one, but we'll go with the Slaanesh Tomb Kings. So we'll wrap up with Slaanesh Tomb Kings. I remember one of these I really wanted to see, and it was this one. Forsaken Rush with Nakari and Fiends versus Tomb Kings who didn't bring Cetra or the Arwar Sphinx. I was very curious. This could be a one-sided shit show, but I just remember it was in the back of my head. I was like, there was a replay I wanted to go see. Excuse me, getting to finals. I thought I said you got to finals. I was just watching Turn's Skaven stream from yesterday. He's going to steal Human Boy's identity soon. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Turn's stinky, so I have that on him. I smell great. Turn, stinky. Bad caster, bad man, bad guy, plays bad games. Me? Great, perfect, plays great games. Don't you guys cover the same game? That didn't make any sense. Yeah. When I make joking insults about other YouTube content creators, I have to be very careful to make it obvious it's a joke, otherwise people get all pissed off at me. All right, for the last game of the day, just one I was curious about, we have Chaos Furies of Slaanesh, Forsaken, Fiends, Seekers, and one Devoted Marauder with Nakari. And Nakari brought Acquiescence and Pavane. On the other side, for the Tomb Kings, we have the Chosen of the Gods who shop Great Bow ROR, Grand Hierophant Kotep, to try and slow them down. Some Skeleton Archers, a front line of Tomb Guard, and Skeleton Warriors. And then some Necropolis Knights with Halberds in the back. 2 of them. So the Fiends and Seekers take a quick fight with Skeleton Horsemen. They should easily crump through those guys, but it looks like it was all a forest bait so that these Necropolis Knights could swoop in behind and get some extra damage out while the Chosen of the Gods continue to fire. Forsaken frontline already taking a lot of damage, but here comes a Rampage plus a Chaos Fury of Slaanesh charge in onto the Chosen of Gods. Should get a lot of damage out while Nakari lurks in the distance. Looks like he has something he wants to say. And he paths straight through the Skeleton Warriors. Nakari's coming for you, Kotep, and he's on a horse, which makes him actually much easier for Nakari to hit, because foot characters like to go flying away from Nakari. Blessed Legion of Flach trying to fire on this other side. Looks like they're going to get rid of a Chaos Fury, but a Fiend will get away unscathed. And Nakari got some decent damage onto Kotep, but then got peeled, and now he needs to run away from all these archers. 15 armor, no shield, no missile resistance. He wants nothing to do with this, so he dives back into the Skeleton Warriors, which, was I mistaken in just seeing that Kotep's own Skullstorm just murdered those guys and Nakari kind of jumped in to take the credit at the last second and he got his heal? Oh, that is a double disaster for the Tomb Kings there. Speaking of a disaster for the Tomb Kings, the Necropolis Knights with Halberds are losing the fight on the top side. It looks like they're trading up in value. No, they're not even trading up in value, they're just fucking dying. Oof. So multiple disasters for the Tomb Kings as the Forsaken frontline works their way through the Skeleton Warriors and Tomb Guard, whose Shopty Summon even had to be used just to hold back the tide. So the frontline's going great for Slaanesh, the flank's going great for Slaanesh. Everything's coming up Slaanesh, baby. Bounce power still relatively even. Slaanesh is not getting through unscathed. Their Forsaken have taken a lot of damage. Their Fiends are both rather damaged. And Nakari is getting messed up by the Chosen of the Gods point-blank spread shot firing. But it looks like he's going to rally for now, and he can just kill undead units to get those big heal procs as the Fiends and Seekers all collapse onto the back line. And there's not a lot here to stop them. We have Necropolis Knights trying to deal damage, but they don't deal damage quickly. Even the Necropolis Knights defenders don't think they deal damage quickly. It's just like, oh, they're like pretty tanky and stuff, bro. So they won't stop this from happening as the Shopti Great Bows and the Blessed Legion of Flach are going to take a lot of damage. And there was some sort of spell being cast, a Narcissism, to net Kotep in place and silence him, but it looks like Nakari's not going to be able to really capitalize on that. Instead dives into some Tomb Guards and gets a really good collision attack in. But Slaanesh continues to fall behind on the balance of power as it looks like they're just getting slowly ground out of the game. I honestly would rather be Slaanesh than Tomb Kings in this state of the game, but the balance of power thinks otherwise. Nakari's trying to heal up. I suppose there's a fake Ushabti summon. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. What, are you on cooldown? No, Nakari's not on cooldown. So Nakari should stay next to this Ushabti because it's about to give him a free heal in 3 seconds. Oh, I love fighting summons as Nakari. Boom! Free heal! What's that? What's that? Your fucking summon faded away? I just got a free ass heal? Oh, I love that. I love that for Nakari. So if you're ever playing with Nakari out there and you see a summon, hang out next to it. It's free money. It's free real estate. Another Skullstorm from Kotep. This one is also gonna betray him and rolls through more Skeleton Warriors and Tomb Guard. Kotep's DJ booth not rocking out this time as all the Skullstorms have betrayed him. Assyrian's Incantation of Vengeance somewhere. I thought I just heard it somewhere, somehow. Pavane of Slaanesh gonna rampage these halberds, and Slaanesh takes their first balance of power lead all game as the Necropolis Knights try and fight Nakari, but Nakari's healed up so much. He's actually gonna hit his heal cap. I bet he's going to heal cap this game because he's taken so much damage and healed so much that it's probably right around the corner. I'm going to guess it's going to show up in 3, 2, 1, 0. Damn it. I was wrong. But wrong by how much? How far away are you, heal cap? Huh. Further than I thought, because he is still taking slow damage here every so often. Tomb Kings still have a lot of infantry left, especially the Kepler Guard. But now we're getting down to the point where it's just Nakari and Fiends. There's the seal cap. There it is. It's right there. Still have Fiends, still have Nakari, still have some form of infantry left for Slaanesh, though it is all very injured. And Kotep is a non-factor. He can't duel Nakari whatsoever, so Nakari is able to carry the rest of this game, has already gotten 2,200 value, and I think if the Tomb Kings don't surrender, he's just going to farm value, probably up to, honestly, near 3,500 would be my guess, because he has a full Kotep to kill. He could maybe get to 4,000 if the Tomb Kings don't surrender at all, maybe, but I'm guessing 3,500. Kotep chucks out his final Skullstorm. He just kind of wanted to throw it out at the Fiends while he could before the Fiends came close to his Kepler Guard. Didn't want any friendly fire on the Kepler Guard, as those are his last hope of anything. I don't think he can win, but it is his last hope is the Kepler Guard. Nakari's still charging around, getting kills where he can, racking up that value. Army loss is getting closer and closer. Refuses to go snipe Kotep. He's against it. Witstealer Sword gives him 1.1k damage value. And he misses his attack onto Kotep as Army Losses starts to take hold. Nakari, I need you to get some serious hits if you're going to get to 3,500, dude. As he misses another shot onto Kotep. He misses 2 in a row. There he might have gotten 1. But he ends out with a pitiful, pathetic, garbage 2,700 value. Good game from Pizu. Good stuff from Nakari. It's everything I hoped it would be when I clicked on the replay. For La Luna, always a fun person to have in the tournaments. I prefer their Lizardmen. I think their Lizardmen is god tier. La Luna inspires me every single time I pick Lizardmen. I go, this is for you, La Lune. So seeing them on Tomb Kings breaks my heart a little bit, but they did alright. They did okay. Rat-sized humans? Unlikely. Oh, boy. Hey, Nicholas. How you doing? That's it for the stream today. Is Tequila Sunset still streaming? Yeah, he is. Let's rate him. Guys, you have to go say hi to Tequila Sunset. You have to. He's a great dude. He helped me make my tier list. So please go say hi. Even if you're not going to watch the stream, just do me a personal favor. Go say hi to him. Maybe, like, subscribe to his channel if you like his content. But at least say hi. So let's do it. Tequila Sunset. He has a stream coming up tomorrow, too. What a legend. Alright, goodbye, everybody. When will the tier list be released? Next week. Here, come with me. Desktop. Display capture, but not that one. Primary monitor. Ooh, that is teeny tiny. That is teeny tiny. Hang on. Hang on. Let me get it all figured out. Alright, so you can see my screen now. This is my Discord, not Discord, this is my backfield. So you can see all these are unlisted. It's because they were uploading during the stream. So I need to make thumbnails for them and schedule them. The tier list is right there. So I have to schedule it. It'll probably be scheduled for Monday, because I don't want it to be near Christmas, because content near Christmas isn't going to do as well, and I don't want to burn a tier list on that. So yeah, probably Monday. But it's right there. Omen of Destruction, Land Battle Conquest tier list. 5 Lords of the Neo rework is also a video I'm pretty proud of. The rest of these are just a lot of replays. Anticity is trying to save Warhammer 3 from Monster Meta. It's also a good one. So yeah. Hang around. Lots of good content. Alright, go say hi to Tequila Sunset. Get the fuck out of here.